Yeah, Murray, got the world in a spin. Blades in my hand, got the world in a spin. Javon's knife flicks, let the show begin. Every move sharp like the edge I hold. Stories untold, sharper than gold. Flick life, twist life, every frame tight. Knives on the screen, cutting through the night. Subscribers piling up like stacks on stacks. Javon's in the zone, ain't no turning back. Clicks and views, yeah, they fly like sparks. Knives in the dark, carving out my mark. From ballad songs, flipping to the sickest tricks. Javon's knife flicks, where legends are lit. Every video's fresh like a polished blade. Precision and grind, that's how dreams get paid. Cutting through limits, breaking the streak. Javon on the rise, every fan's heartbeat. From tutorials fire to unboxings insane. Content so slick, you won't leave the lane. Blood, sweat, crisp, stealing every flick. In Javon's world, sharp is the only pick. Flick life, twist life, every frame tight. Knives on the screen, cutting through the night. Subscribers piling up like stacks on stacks. Javon's in the zone, ain't no turning back.
My channel may review knives, but I have the most fun on the lives. Settle in and grab a snack. Javon and his vibe will arrive to attack. Talking blades and casting shade. There may be some friendly debate, but please no hate. Wow! My channel may My channel may review knives, but I have the most fun on the lives. Settle in and grab a snack. Javon and his vibe will arrive to attack. Talking blades and casting shade. There may be some friendly debate, but please no hate. But please no hate. My channel may very few knives, but please no hate. But please no hate.
I can't believe it's Friday and we made it. Get the weekend started, let's go live on YouTube.
Yeah, it's a Friday night flicking, you know it's going down. Get your friends and your knives and let's have a good time. Got that blade click clacking and I'm ready to go. Gotta check the homie Javon to see what knives he's got.
I can't believe it's Friday and we made it. Get the weekend started, let's go live on YouTube. It's Friday, I can't believe we made it. It's Friday.
I can't believe it's Friday and we made it. Get the weekend started, let's go live on YouTube. Ooh. It's a Friday night flicking, you know it's going down. Get your friends and your knives and let's have a good time. Got that blade click clacking and I'm ready to go. Gotta check the homie Javon to see what knives he's got. Ooh. Gotta check the homie Javon to see what knives he's got.
Oh, I can't believe it's Friday and we made it. Get the weekend started, let's go live on YouTube. It's Friday, I can't believe we made it. It's Friday. YouTube, what's good? It's your boy Javon.
This is Javon's knife flicks. This is Javon's knife flicks. This is Javon's knife flicks. This is Javon's knife flicks.
every day, carry for your view and pleasure. We just having fun together. Haters try to say we weird, but we doing better. Knife community is all that matters. Welcome to the knife live stream. Be yourself, say what's up, put the knives up. We on the stream, have a good time. Welcome to the knife live stream. Be yourself, say what's up, put the knives up. We on the stream, have a good time. This is Juvon's Knife Flicks. 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 This is Juvon's Knife Flicks.
I went out because we only had a little bit, but are you high on cigarettes? The limit went out because we only had a little bit, but are you high on cigarettes? And when that stuff runs out, you're gonna wanna make it. Are you high on cigarettes?
Let's watch Juvon's weirdness and get high on cigarettes. Let's watch Juvon's weirdness and get high on cigarettes. Let's watch Juvon's weirdness and get high on cigarettes. Let's watch Juvon's weirdness and get high on cigarettes. Do you know that you're right or wrong? 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 He don't smoke 'em, but he loves it when you do. That's why he's high on cigarettes. And if you find him, you should light him up a few. He's getting high on cigarettes. Let's watch Juvon's weirdness and get high on cigarettes. Let's watch Juvon's weirdness and get high on cigarettes. Let's watch Juvon's weirdness and get high on cigarettes. Let's watch Juvon's weirdness and get high on cigarettes. Do you know that you're right or wrong? 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 Do you know that you're right or wrong?
The limit went out because we only had a little bit, but are you high on cigarettes?
Debate, don't hate. 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 We're gonna take you back, gonna take you way back with a positive rap. Now tell me how about that? And in a matter of fact, yo, don't believe the hype. We about to shine a light, it's about to be out of sight. The classic sound that's coming back around. It's the ultimate breakdown that you can get down to, and it's brand new just for you. So take a listen, and here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take you back, we're gonna take you way back to the sounds of the past for the message that will last. Debate, don't hate. 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 Say debating and you say hating. Now let's get to it. No hesitating. Come on, let's debate it. This hatred is faded. Now get up on the mic and tell me what you say. We came here to have a good time.
Candy. And I'm not gaining weight. I'm losing weight deliciously with the aid of AIDS. The AIDS diet plan really works.
AIDS candy contains a safe and effective appetite suppressant when used as directed. Helps curb your appetite so you can lose weight. And AIDS candy has no stimulant that can make you nervous.
The plan lets you enjoy 2 AIDS before each meal. Delicious chocolate flavor. And I love being a size 10 again.
Lose weight deliciously with the aid of AIDS.
There's too much water in that kettle. And now the lid's on crooked. And that means disaster for this lady. Because she is on a boat. Don't boil a kettle on a boat.
What is up, guys? Gals? I thought I'd start a little early because we get out of here a little early for said faction. And so yeah, that's the deal. Hey, there's a buddy. What's going on, dude?
I found it.
What were you looking for? Oh, the link? I didn't see it.
Yeah, I forgot y'all had chatted for all day.
All that crazy football shit y'all got into.
Didn't you start that?
No, I didn't start. Well, I think I did just post that 1 second, the one tick Nick video, which is such a good video. You've got to love that.
Yeah.
What they didn't show in that video,
Did you see the picture that I was there?
Yeah, I was there. I wasn't there. I was on TV. So come to think about it, I remember them reviewing the play, Nick wanting the second back, me being so pissed because they were getting to kick it again, and then going from the lowest of lows to the highest.
People don't understand that when they won that what's it called?
Game?
Not the game, when he won the review.
Yeah.
It like sucked all the air
out of the stadium, I can imagine.
Everybody just kind of collapsed down in defeat. And literally, Davis was probably at the 40 by the time the people in the stadium realized what was happening. And everybody, I don't know how many people that place holds. It's like 100,000, ain't it?
Well, yeah, but
everybody just and bounced to their feet. Like you could feel the whole stadium shake. It was an incredible moment. I mean, I know Alabama fans hate it, but it's still one of the greatest moments in college football history.
That shit just doesn't happen, It was just, and Auburn sucks. I'm the first to say it. That's what I put in our chat group tonight. I'll rib against Alabama. I'll rib some against Georgia. I'll rib against all SEC teams, but I pull for them when they're not playing somebody that's Auburn. Like if it's two teams like Alabama and Georgia, I'm going to pull for Georgia because Alabama and Georgia, it goes back. I'm not going to dox her, but there was a blonde Southern belle that I met over at they called it, well, what did we call it when we went to the game swap from Athens to Auburn every other week? And my fraternity was real close to a bunch of the people over there. Plus, we had a bunch of friends that went to school from Georgia who had friends that were in Georgia and Athens. So it was a big weekend for us. Well, one weekend I took a date over there and I met this. Well, I'm trying to think who she doesn't look like anybody. She was a lot taller than me. They say short people, they don't make people feel safe. Well, she had me by a good 10 inches. Blonde, gorgeous, and real. I remember her singing Michael Jackson's "The Way You Make Me Feel." We had like kegs and scotch, and everybody was wasted watching the game. And then I got a call, dude. I got a call 2 weeks later, and she invited me to her sorority's formal. So I got to get a tux, drive over to Georgia, and spend the weekend with her.
To the formal horse and wagon?
No, dude. It wasn't that shit. I ain't that old. I'm old, but I ain't that old. What's up, Joe Isabel? I'm going to start at the bottom and say hey to everybody. No, not blind, blonde. She was a very short-haired at the time in the 90s, late 80s. It was uncommon. She had very short blonde hair, a booming voice, very gregarious, very outgoing. She lit up a room. I didn't think because I had a chick that I was kind of dating that I was very openly affectionate with. The fact that she had the balls to call me was reason enough for me to get there. And when I got there, she was a perfect host. I can't tell you what a great host she was. I don't mean that in a dirty way. She had me a bottle of Glenlivet because she knew I liked Scotch. She had me other things that she knew I liked. And there was a band, I think REM played, and then they had their formal. And it was just a weekend of, it was not platonic, but it was not, we didn't have dates after that. It was just a good time. And she was a cool girl. I know her name. I ought to find her on social media, but that could get dangerous. What's up, Richard Hopkins? The man, the myth, the legend, channel member. Joe's a channel member too. I hadn't been differentiating between members like Mad Yoko. I'm going to tell you guys a thought I had, and you guys will probably think I'm a grifter.
Tyler, I have not received your box yet.
Kathleen, channel member, what's up? I'm sorry, Shane. What'd you say?
I was letting Tyler know. He asked me if his knife had got here yet. And I haven't received it yet.
What is up, Marco? I was texting with Richard today, in late September, he's coming doing an Eastern tour. They're doing some wanderlusting in their RV. And he's probably going to come over here and park in the yard one afternoon. And I thought, how cool would it be? And he thought it would be too, if you were able to get over here somehow and had a fret that was his, not knowing what your schedule's like, but could just hand deliver it to him. And because I want to show him a bunch of knives and just visit, Right. But love to have you pop over. I know it's not 30 minutes. I know it's harder than that.
No, I can get there, but he's number 3 on the list anyway. So depending on when he's here, might be a possibility.
It's going to be the end of September at the earliest.
End of September?
At the earliest.
Okay.
That's what it's looking like now.
We might have
I'm sorry, dude.
To pick from.
Well, no. Like I said, I thought you two could get together and maybe find out if he knew if there was one that you had that you could. I didn't know how you were staging them. We hadn't had that conversation, so I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
No harm, no foul. But it's good to see everybody. I've got a knife to unbox here that I don't own, that wasn't sent to me, but my friend that Shane knows as Asshole A to Z EDC bought this knife last weekend, and it came in today, and it's a collaboration between Very Good Knife Company and Zachary Smith. I always forget Zachary's last name. It's Jacob's first collaboration, and there's another first he's done here. And Shane, you and I will talk backstage because he sent me his answer, which was a little different. He might, and Will, he's like you and I talked about, he's in a totally different market. Hey, Paul Mills, channel member, what's up? Hey, Jesse, channel member, what's up? Hey, man, I think I greeted you, brother. What's up?
What's up, hey, man?
They're different price points, so to speak, from our conversation. And Jacob, and I can read you the rest of it, and he was very lengthy in his explanation and didn't IG it to me. He texted it to me because he wanted me to get it. Right. But he will, no matter how high he goes, and he knows he'll bump up his steel that he's offering based on what the market's wanting. But he says, as far as budget steels go at the price point, and I don't know, we can go to the website when we look at this knife and see what they cost, but he would choose nothing over 80 CRV2. And he'll try to come on in the next couple of weeks and talk about the testing he does, because his whole thing is it's easy to sharpen.
Yeah.
It's easy to sharpen. He goes, John, this is his basic quote. And think about it from a maker user standpoint, not from someone who knows steel and makes knives and heat treats. He goes, it's the perfect balance between ease of sharpening and being a perfect work tool. It's got the balance of toughness. It's not going to hold an edge forever, but you can get it back to a slicey edge with very little effort, with a lot of different methods. You don't need special stones. I think a lot of these guys, and I don't mean this in a negative way, but they might think that their market, Neil McKenzie channel member, what's up?
They may be right.
It's not diamond stone people, right? They might be whetstone people. They may be carbide people.
And I wouldn't argue with any of that other than, and it may just be from, lack of him experiencing other steels, is that some of these steels we're talking about are just as easy to sharpen.
And that's why,
but
both of these guys,
you get in a habit of making something out of a particular steel and you stick with it, you kind of become oblivious to other steels.
That's right. You get tunnel vision because you're focusing on getting your knives out.
If his customer base,
and he says heat treat matters too, but go ahead.
If his customer base is happy with what he's selling, then I wouldn't try to talk him out of it. I'm just saying, from my standpoint, I can't foresee me ever buying any 80 CRV2 to.
Understandable.
I've got a knife I'm making out of 8670, and I didn't buy that. He bought a whole chunk of it, a big piece of it, and sent it to me.
Well, the one thing that the key word in his sentence that I keyed on was my entry level knives for a good budget economical steel. He's not, and that's why I think you have casual relationships with a lot of these guys that you got to think they were either tool makers, machinists, knife makers who got a few machines. They probably don't have the same vernacular and experience being steelsmiths or little closet metallurgists who are,
they may not have the same passion in their knife making.
Well, you know what it is,
I don't mean it's a lack of anything. I just mean, like Aries EDC, clearly, if you look at one of my knives and one of Aries' refinement, that's where his passion lies. He makes beautiful knives. In my opinion, Aries makes a prettier knife than Very Good Knife Company, than TKL, than Jacob Craig. Lots of knife companies out there that, as far as refinement goes, I feel like Aries is.
He's up there as good as it gets. They're beautiful.
That's his thing, So I wouldn't badmouth Aries.
I'm not saying that it would be badmouthing Shane. I think what I've gotten out of the two responses that were the common thread were, as I learned, one was as he learns more about super steels, I'm sure he's going to want to experience with them. It sounds like they need someone to just, have a casual conversation. Dude, if you wanted to do something around that price, this would give you this and this better. And this is going to be the challenge, if it even presents one, that you're going to be faced with. And then, Tim, you're having the situation I told you about that I won't say in the open, but tell me more about that. Just be a kind of a consultant, because what it does is, you're doing what Jacob said to me at his booth. If I get hit by a truck tomorrow and I don't share with people how I do what I do, my craft is going to die. Yeah. And if you don't share that passion, other people aren't going to get passionate if you don't get passionate and share it with them. And you don't have to share it and you suck. This is what you need to do. You share it with Javon said, you might want to learn a little bit more about some alternatives that you could use that probably aren't going to cost you any more money.
To do that. And the reason I say that is just because those guys have been making longer than me. And I understand my situation was a little bit unique because I never wanted to make anything in carbon steel. I just didn't. By the time I started making, I'd already got steels.
Hold that thought. 2 years, B Shady, dude. Thank you, man. That's huge.
And I was fortunate enough to have friends and contacts in the super steel world that were willing to help me jump straight to that. I probably should have started with 80 CRV2. And had I done that, I may have spent 5 years in that steel. I was just fortunate enough, and I didn't have any passion for making that stuff to begin with.
Why? Because it's a lesser material. It's not the best in customer use. My experiment, hypothesis.
I said some things 2 years ago that, if questioned now, I wasn't being dishonest, but there were some things that I didn't understand, and I didn't realize until just recently. Like when I used to badmouth Hinder for not, raising his HRC, and I was like, I don't understand why he's doing that. It doesn't cost any more to run it a little harder. Well, yeah, it does. I was wrong.
You learned that with
the price difference he could have charged, and we would have paid it without a question.
Right. But
when you guys are watching me on live, you guys come on here and spend 3 hours watching me grind one knife. That's not profitable. There's no money to be made at my price range. If I spend 3 hours just grinding the bevels.
And neither one of these guys would jump off that deep into it, but I think they would be so appreciative to just get, and you don't have to drop the whole Bible on them. You could just say, hey man, if you like this and you've been comfortable with this, you might try this as a much better alternative that you're going to find just as easy to work, whatever it may be.
Careful there, because some people can take that as talking down to them.
Nope, but not at all, because they both asked
I look
indirectly for that information.
I know there's other people in the community that are full of knowledge too, but you take like Todd Carr. If Todd set out to start making knives today, he would already know what steel he wants to do it in before he ever ground the first one. He would have already researched it and learned how, because Todd has spent the time to learn what the advantages and disadvantages in certain steels are. And he's never made a thing. He just took the time to learn it.
Because that's the driving. Everybody you have to think about it this way. Jacob got into the knife business because his dad put him in the knife business as a young kid, right? That's all he's known.
Right.
Tim got into the business for a totally different reason. You got into the business for a totally different reason. Your passion that you were chasing was different than these other guys, right? So that's why I think it's so beautiful to watch it as an outsider. Just y'all share basic information at the Blade Show, which was just casual conversation. Right. But how forthcoming everybody is, and the stories you've told me from what Alex has helped you with making your life easier. So I think just by throwing that back in the universe, for one, if you're a good steel rep, if they were buying steel from me, I would have those conversations with them when they ordered. But I can tell you 95% of the people are order takers. And if they're buying 80 CRV2, they're not going to give them any injected change or that.
That 80 CRV2's been laying around, sitting on the shelf for decades. They're not going to talk them guys out of buying it.
Well, there could even be a spiff on it. Y'all know what a spiff is for a salesperson?
It'd be like talking to a guy out of buying last year's model Harley. You want that gone.
Well, let me tell you something. If you're in sales, or if you've ever been in sales, you could be getting paid a higher commission rate for different steels based on their availability. I don't know that that's true. I just know that there were cars, when they started to get old on the lot, they started to get close to having a birthday and had been floor planned for almost a year. There would be $1,000 spiff, which was $1,000 on top of the commission for the salesperson that sold it. So I could see the same type of incentives. My point is, who would take the time to pick up the phone and say, hey, I'm not trying to tell you anything different, but I was talking to Javon. If you ever have a question about some other steels, because that's kind of my little niche in the game, feel free to reach out. Or if you ever want to talk about it, I'd love to talk about it with you. A, I love what you do. B, I think you're a good guy, and I just want to share if you need it. You're not imposing anything on anybody. You're just furthering your brand, Shane, Edgy American Blades. You're putting yourself out there as someone who's willing to help. And I think that information from just somebody who's learning it from you guys and from the responses I'm getting, I don't think it's maybe either it's not cared about, it's not a determining factor, which I have a hard time believing to most of the public. If it was marketed right, I could definitely see how it could become a huge advantage. But I don't think people know. And I don't think they feel like they need to know, because like you said, they're selling what they're making, right?
John, there's still guys at Blade Show. I picked up a knife at Blade Show this year that was $1,500. That was made from a $35 billet from Alabama, Damascus.
What was the handle? Because usually
I couldn't even tell you. There was mammoth molar, and
that was where the
all kind of
money was.
fancy shit on it. That's not the point. I'm not saying that the knife wasn't worth it. I'm just saying this guy's making and selling $1,500 fixed blades, and it's the same $35 pre-cut knife blade that anybody in the chat can go on Alabama Damascus' website and buy for $35.
Let me ask you a hypothetical. Do you think that particular guy, if somebody like you said, hey man, I love what you do, why do you use this? And they go, I've just always use it. It's easy to work. And you said something
the
like,
reason why you don't have people having those conversations, John, is because a lot of us have already had that conversation with a lot of them, and they don't want to hear it.
And you get, there's a big, and chat, please don't take this the wrong way, but I was reading an article about an old man who's lived on an island for 33 years because he got tired of conversation. And I keep getting fed through Instagram reasons you don't argue with people who are, I'm not going to say stupid, but are set in their ways, because it's just a one-way fight. So I understand what Shane's saying. And I think everybody's probably run into that personality, but that doesn't mean that, and Tim may be that personality, right? You may run into him and say, that's exactly how I thought it could be. Or he could
At
be
some point
somebody.
during that conversation, John, he's gonna imagine what my bank account is, the size of my business, and then he's gonna remember the size of his bank account.
Dude, that's a huge assumption. Tim's the type that remembers where he comes from. I'm
not saying he's not. I'm just saying it's hard for a guy who couldn't order grinding belts 3 days ago. If it wasn't for a certain somebody, I wouldn't have been able to wear grinding belts. It's hard for a businessman to listen to that guy. I wouldn't listen to that guy.
But let me tell you something, and this is true. This comes from leadership school. This comes from everything. Your value's not determined by what your interior voice is telling you or what your bank account says. If you possess knowledge that can help somebody better their business, even if they tell you they're not interested and they do it down the road and they remember that you're the one that planted the seed, it only raises your stock. Your credibility is not, you're new in the game, Shane. You've been making knives for a month and a half, over a year. Yeah. I mean, fuck.
I know, and that's why.
Yeah, Rick, what's up, brother?
But I still have an opportunity to help. Like, I've offered to Mad Yoko, I'm fixing to heat treat his first knife that, the first one he's actually making. I'll spend whatever time I need to with Tyler to help him avoid all the mistakes I made and help him make the best knife he possibly can on his first one. And my goal is for it to turn out better than this.
And I know you will, and you'll be able to break it down into terminology that he can understand, which makes you even a better communicator. I don't think you put enough value on your ability to not only tell a story or convey a process, but you capture people's attention as you speak. So you wouldn't have to go into detail on a phone call with Tim or Jacob about how to do something because you're not telling them how. You're just sharing what you've learned through your experiences and not suggesting they do something different, but say, Javon told me that, because they both asked in different ways, that you might want to one day learn more about some super steel and some different options, that'll do everything your knives do, won't cost you anymore, and it'll hold an edge. I love your knives as they are. They sell great. You sure don't need to take it from me, who's only been making knives a year.
Well, keep in mind too, though, John, I kind of took a cop-out because I've said it 100 times by now that unless you ask me to make you a tough knife, don't assume anything I make is tough. And that is kind of a cop-out because I should know how tough is it, what will it withstand, but I don't. So I just come out and say, hey, man, it's not going to be tough. I feel like we should pause for at least 10 seconds and let Ryan speak.
Ryan, I hadn't even told you hello. I'm sorry, dude.
I was actually going to sit here and just use the chat and not talk.
In full disclosure,
but Shane ruined it.
It's the time of the month where I don't have my ADHD medication.
I can tell.
The way that the state does it, it's ridiculous. So I'll pick it up tomorrow. So I apologize. My brain's been all over the place.
No, that day you called me on the phone, John, was the worst. That was the worst episode I've ever witnessed. You were so bad, dude.
It's actually,
and I don't remember what the conversation was about. It was about something completely off the wall, had nothing to do with why you called me, and you went on and on, and I was like, oh, this is what John's like when he does have his medicine. Now I know.
I probably had several little mini conversations, just whatever was running through my mind. It's torturous, dude. I mean, what the weird thing is,
you carried on. You talked about 15 different things within about an hour span, and finally I was like, John, I'm standing in line, dude. I got to order my food.
Kind of like, and don't take this the wrong way, but they say when you're dead, you don't know you're dead. Only the survivors do. Yeah. And when you're stupid, you don't know you're stupid. Only the people around you do.
Stupid. You just
no. But I'm saying it's kind of the same thing. It's when you have ADHD.
When he was describing Eddie Bravo to Joe Rogan, so he's like a Jack Russell Terrier. Joe Rogan's like,
the thing is,
he's like a Jack Russell Terrier.
I never realized I had an issue.
Once he gets loose, you can't get him back. He's just gone. Yeah,
but I never, even though I was diagnosed at 2 with hyperactivity, I was always told by teachers I was hyperactive. my ex-wife told me for years that I had ADHD. I never thought it was any different than my normal. So I apologize.
No, you don't have to apologize. I poke
No, I'll
fun,
square
dude.
up, but I do have this. And I do
But
want
keep
to
in mind,
say it.
this is coming from the guy that twice a year shuts down and doesn't get out of bed for days at a time, and has to have people who don't even know the knife community to convince him to get off his ass and start living again. So I'm not making fun. We all have our issues.
Hey, mental health is real. And what I try to do is medication is only one thing. It's really I don't think it's by any means the cure, but learning behavioral tasks. That's the hardest thing for me. I read a lot and try to think of different ways to put into practice things, and it doesn't work. I mean, if your brain's wound up like a squirrel and you're trying to think of ways to write your tasks down so you'll get them done, that doesn't mean that your brain's going to shift into follow what's on your list.
I just remembered the conversation you were having, dude. You spent like an hour explaining to me how this pot place, how they process this weed and everything that they did to it. And I couldn't give a shit less, man, but you broke it down.
I was probably telling you about the Nug Smasher because I watched a video on it. That's the only thing I can think about that I would have told you about.
Yeah. And dude, you would not shut up about it. You were so excited.
Well, I mean, it's not anything I did. It's like a $1,000 machine, but it's fascinating to watch them take what we've all seen is plant material, flour, dump it in there and have it come out is like amber butter. You know, it's just really cool the way they do it. And they do it with it was like, they were like scientists. They have a certain amount of heat based on how much they've got in there. So you've got me on it now. And then they measure the pressure. So it's a combination of the pressure and the heat to get it to extract, or it'll burn it or waste it. But anyway, guys, how many people do we have in here? 22. Do y'all want to look at this knife? Shane, you care to look at it?
Absolutely.
This is the one that I tried to show you a picture of, but you really can't see it.
I saw a picture of something coming up soon. Some of y'all.
He's got a drop tonight of some knives, and we'll go over there and see if he's got any left. He's done a lot of work with Grip Tech, but this is it's called the Lone Star. It's his first ever collaboration. And let's see how much this knife is because it's not expensive. Hold on. I won't share the screen. Let me just pull it up.
Collaboration between who? Jacob?
Between Zachary Schmidt, and Zachary Schmidt, I think, is a channel subscriber. I've chatted with him in Jacob's lives before I knew they were doing a knife together.
That's not the guy that used to be in the CDC, is it?
I don't know.
What's up, boys?
Could he be? Could he be the guy? In the
is Zach Schmidt? Is that the guy that used to be in the crispy donut community?
No.
Zachary Schmidt. SCHMIDT.
No.
My bad. All right.
He's always been friendly in chat, and I was surprised when they were talking about this knife because he was in that chat. I'm gonna make it big for a sec.
Hello, boys.
What's up, Kyle?
What's up, Kyle?
You know, I was just kidding with you about Ohio State, don't you? I don't take football seriously, and I forget there's some people who take it very seriously. So I apologize in advance for busting your balls the rest of the season. Check this out. So first of all, I love his sheaths. And if you've ever watched him make these on one of his videos, he's got a process that takes him no time. He uses an old like apartment oven to heat his Kydex. And then he's got a press like he bought on Amazon. And this is a taco sheath where it's just folded over. And he's just drills out the holes and puts the eyelets in. But I love his weep hole. Check that out. See how the hole ends clipped off?
Yeah.
And I think he does that with the belt.
He does.
Paul Mills, member for 25 months. Guys, you don't know how much that means. And the reason I say that, is it really does. And I'm thinking about doing something really crazy to get more people to be members. And I'll tell you what that is here in a bit. But anyway, it's about how long it is. I'll show it to you and then we'll see how long it is.
Oh, yeah.
That's what she
said. That swedge. And
nice.
A to Z's got, this is his fourth very good knife company knife. And it's his favorite because the belly, he says is so functional. It has tape all over it. Before I do the unboxing kind of overview tomorrow, but can you see the bevel right there? The chamfers, I think I've shown you those before, Shane. See how it looks like a screwdriver right here?
Oh, yeah, I see what
He just knocks those, he knocks those down. But this is the first knife he's ever put a sharpening choil in. He's always done the Spyderco method.
Right.
But that's his first sharpening choil. It's hollow ground. I mean, his handles and the grip tech is next level. This one's got G-tone liners, micarta handles. But it's just not his design, but it's made so well. The spine is so sharp. I'm not going to strike a ferro rod with it, but you definitely could. And it's a good size. I want to say it's probably maybe 7 inches, 7.5. Let me see.
Overall?
Yeah.
I thought that was a lot bigger knife than
It's
that.
an 8-inch knife. I'm sorry. It is bigger than I'd want to carry on the daily. And it's solid. You know, that's thick. That's
my only thing is that swedge looks really good. However, looking at the profile of that blade, I think it would be much prettier if you just ground the swedge off. If that part of the blade wasn't there, and that's why I've always questioned swedges. Well, instead of
are they purely aesthetic?
Swedge to make it pass through material easier, why not just remove that material? Because in my mind, it's not functional.
Yeah, Zero's going to have less resistance than a swedge.
Right. I mean, some people may like the look of that knife more because of the swedge, but that particular profile, I would like better without that little mohawk on the back of the blade. But then again, I've seen knives like that knife that Cheeto designed and rubbed it in my face. You know, I wouldn't dare make that knife.
So the spine chain is 0.1590. And I'm terrible at getting behind the edges, but I'm going to do my best.
It's not an exact science.
0.0185.
Yeah.
So it goes from 0.15.
That's nice for for an outdoors knife.
Oh, it's a deep hollow. It's a slicey little guy.
Kyle, correct me if I'm wrong. That's not any thicker than a Spyderco, is it? Aren't they usually about between 13 and 18 behind the edge?
Roughly.
Let me just see how much it costs so we can see what the price point is.
Let Kyle talk.
I'm sorry, Kyle.
On that swedge, I'm not sure why that has anything to do with the cutting ability, because it's not a full flat, so it's not getting in the way. It's got almost a saber to it.
I was talking about people say that they put swedges so that when you're stabbing into like fleshy material,
it goes in easier.
And how easy it goes in.
So I was like, it's going to get stopped way before that if you're cutting into something. That's why I was confused what you're trying to get at.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I meant stabbing, not cutting.
Okay, no problem. I'm making sure I wasn't misunderstanding something. Like, okay. I think a clip works better than that, but personally.
Yeah. And like I said, some knives, the swedge makes all the difference in the way it looks. That particular knife, in my opinion, if I owned it, I feel like it would look a little better without the swedge. That knife reminds me, you remember the old hickory butcher knife that so many channels have done saying it's the perfect bug out bag knife?
The old hickory.
That knife kind of reminds me of that. Yeah, everybody's had one, man. I remember playing with one in the backyard. I stole my mom's and hid it under the house so I could take it on walks in the woods.
He didn't have the Lone Star on his site, and I'm sure it's going to be more expensive. But this little guy is $175, and it's in Grip Tech. I think that Grip Tech's an awesome material, guys. I love it. But if you look at one of his bigger knives, just to get a range on what he's selling for. Again, this goes back into our conversation of the answers of why they use what they use. So this would be, well, let's go to the traditional full size, would be comparable. A to Z's got this knife too. Micarta handles.
Yeah, like literally everybody's grandmother had this. The old hickory butcher knife. It's got that weird little clip out there at the end.
Hold on, let me stop sharing so I can see it. Hold on, show it again. Let me
And I
make you
think they
big.
were in. I don't remember if they were in 1095 or 1095 or 1075. They weren't as big as this picture is making it look. That looks like a machete just about,
But is it shorter than that?
oh yeah, it's like a 5-inch blade. It was a full-size knife, best I remember. I haven't seen one since I was a kid. But people talk about it it being the best bug out bag knife. It's $30.
Yeah, I mean that
And
cold.
it was well made. But
Paul's got a question for you, Shane. I think I know the answer, but I'll let you answer it. I think you do.
I am planning to learn to do hollow grinds. Paul, the only reason I'm not right this minute is I'm in the middle of orders.
You're very busy doing flat.
I wouldn't want to risk and say, hey, let me try a hollow grind on this and then jack up everything and get everything behind. So as soon as I get caught up, I do plan to start doing some hollow grinds.
Let me ask you a question. I left a comment on Brian Transparent Knives. Is that his little fixie he's been showing off?
The doodles?
The doodles.
Yeah.
Like it.
Yeah.
I mean, his blade work is next level.
Yeah. Yeah. It certainly is. And it's mostly because of his, he don't have a CNC yet, so he's hand grinding those. And what you see from Brian's is the result of not caring how many belts you throw in the garbage and doing, every belt progression that's on the market to get the blade to look like that. But
he's broken it down to where he knows exactly what he's looking at, right? I mean, he knows what his costs are pretty much.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
From what I understand, if and when that batch of doodles sells out, Brian will have the money and will pay cash for his CNC machine. Now, the doodle's not going to pay for it by itself, don't get me wrong. But between the money he has in his bank now and what he's going to make off the doodles, he should be able to buy his CNC. So a Transparent Knives folder, I don't know how long it's going to take, but we're getting closer than we've ever been.
These are Nitro V. I'm trying to find the biggest ADCRV to get an idea. 175. So under 200 for ADCRV2. Because you can't look at all of his knives, I guess, because it fluctuates. You can't go in here and look at.
That's where I try to stay on Nitro V2. I try to stay under 200.
Well, no, that was on ADCRV2, Shane. The Nitro V, and this is with the Grip Tech scale. Hold on. The Nitro V.
It's about the same price, isn't it?
It was over 2.25.
Yeah.
So it goes from 175. It's $50 more.
Yeah, and there may be something about buying ADCRV2 in an entire sheet like they do.
But that's how he's always done his choils before.
Because you can figure this right off the bat, John. Regardless of the cost of the steel, he's probably spending $15 less a knife to heat treat the ADCRV2. Because it doesn't require a full wrap. It doesn't require as high heat, so his power bill is going to be lower. It's cheaper to heat treat carbon steels than
right.
Steels.
See how he used to do his choils, or how he still does them, except for this collaboration?
I don't mind that at all. I feel like now that's a very sharp plunge. That's very impressive.
That's like the fret.
My plunges might not be quite that sharp, but they're close. And I feel like if they're that sharp and that clean, it don't have to have a sharpening tool.
Nope.
But
Kyle, what are your thoughts?
At the same time, it doesn't hurt if it does have a sharpening tool either.
I like the way on this one he cut into both the thick part. He did a perfect little semicircle right between both the blade and the, what do you call that? Behind the plunge. Handle side of the plunge.
Are you supposed to Ricasso?
Yeah, so he took 50% of it out of the Ricasso and 50% out of the blade. I think the choil is
I
not.
don't know what you're saying. Is the handle flush with the Ricasso?
At the bottom?
Where they meet.
I don't
know what you're talking about, John.
No, I'm talking about
the plunge. So like he's talking about like right. No, I can't do. I'm not highlighting
right here. Can you see where my thing is pointing?
That flat part's the ricasso.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
So the plunge going straight up and down a
Is
90
right
degree.
here.
Yeah.
Right. You don't need a sharpening choil if it's straight up and down.
Right.
Because you can lay your stone against that, right, Kyle? Keep it perpendicular. And
Correct. And the plunge is not going to be ahead of the termination point or the edge termination.
Right.
And so when he does the choil, when he did the choil on the knife that I'm holding, he took 50% of it out of the ricasso and 50% of it out of the blade, which looks like to me it would make it a lot easier to sharpen. But what it would also do, and Kyle, Shane, tell me if I'm wrong, is it would make it more likely to snag on material, whatever you're using it to cut with. So
John, I still don't know what you're talking about.
I'm talking about the advantage of not having a sharpening choil, having it like this versus having this semicircle one cut in. Let me quit sharing.
No, I know. You're
Like
just
right
talking
there.
about, right, because a
So
sharp,
wouldn't that snag on materials?
it can, yeah. Material can get bunched up in there. It can snag there, yeah. That is possible.
And I'm thinking the reasoning for not doing it, right? The reasoning, it doesn't take him any more time to drill it. Maybe 5 minutes tops.
I don't know that it's a big enough deal to matter either way, in my opinion.
What do you think, Kyle? I'm just curious as I think.
I mean, personally, I like it without, but if you're going to do, because my thing is, if you're going to do a straight plunge, leave it that way. If you're going to do a sweeping plunge, then put in a choil.
I got you. Okay. See, I learned something.
See, that knife you're holding up now is what you should have been. The picture you were showing didn't have a sharpening choil.
Right. This is his first.
50% in the
right. What I was
ricasso.
saying is this is his
Now
first
I
sharpening
understand what
choil.
you're saying. Yeah.
See how he took 50% out of both. It still looks like he did it with the drill bit.
Yeah. Good job there.
Who's on first?
He drilled that before shaping it, and then I don't know if he used a plunge guide or not, but he just started his plunge right in the middle of. Right, that's how I do it.
And he's got those chamfers on the ricasso.
I put it right up to the edge of the belt, and that's where I start grinding.
But
he did a nice job.
I think that's every bit worth $175.
You had me way confused. I thought you meant.
Well, I apologize. I thought I'd made it clear that he had that it was his first one. And when I say a Spyderco sharpening choil, it's not a choil. That's just what I think of when I sharpen Spydercos.
No plunge guide. I don't understand. I don't know if you ever use them, Jacob. Or
hey, there he is. What's going on, buddy?
I have one, and I found that it seems pretty easy to me to just, push the center of your sharpening choil right up to the edge of the belt and start your grind there. Because I didn't think I would ever be able to get as clean a plunge. As clean a plunge as I do without a guide, but it's not that hard to do.
Guys and gals, this is Jacob at Very Good Knife Company, a friend of mine who I've met at Blade Show and talked to since I reviewed his first knife that Lee Wolf sent me, who I've not seen in a long time. I need to reach out to Lee. But he had a drop tonight, and he's been one of the first guys to work with this stuff that I picked up a knife from Carry Development with, but they were skeletonized scales. What do you call them? Picture box? Or what do you call the scales that aren't full and comfortable like these?
Shadow box.
So these are full scales, and this stuff's called Grip Tech, and it's allegedly got the strength and durability, if not more than G10, but it's got almost an organic feel to it.
I'm curious if Jacob agrees. It reminds me of the material that they're making the outdoor decking out of.
Trex, it does not feel like Trex, and I felt Trex.
Yeah, it's kind of like my Carta. It almost gets a little bitier when it's wet.
Guys, these are in stock. He's got a few still in stock.
When I touch it, I always think it reminds me of this new modern weatherproof decking material. It's nice.
I know from one of his videos that he says it makes a much bigger mess when you're grinding it. Right. And my chat's gone.
Mine's still here.
How you doing, Ryan?
Mine just came back because I was going to highlight his. It does remind him of Trex, Shane. So, thinking about Trex, even though it's under your feet, This stuff to me feels kind of soft and fuzzy, and I'm sure it's the way they finish it.
Yeah.
What would make that not a good thing outside of your personal, and I don't mean bias is a bad thing, but your personal bias about, oh, it's like that decking material.
Oh,
Because a lot of times you find a material that'll work on a knife.
I can't think of any negative to it if you like the way it, other than if it's just not your taste. But as long as you're happy with the way it looks, I know it's super tough.
Hey, Brashear.
Provides traction. It's hard to go wrong with that.
All right, I'm going to quit talking.
My only negative is when I've tried Rich Light. I'm worried if it's a lot like Rich Light, and I'm sure Jacob would know this. I've never been able to grind Rich Light. It burns immediately. So I'm assuming Rich Light has to be machined, like with a router or a mill or a CNC machine.
Rich Light feels like paper mache to me. I've got one back here I could show you. They're totally different, but I want Ryan and Kyle to have a conversation. Rich Light Shane is like paper micarta, right, Ryan? Right, Kyle?
Yeah, Rich Light is paper micarta virtually, but it can machine. You just have to use very sharp belts in slow speeds.
Right. Yeah, I just haven't been able to do it.
5-door, 27 months.
I don't know if you Yeah, he said it's nearly
conversations are important.
So I'm assuming you're machining your Rich Light and that Grip Tech. Am I correct? Is that all machined and not sanded?
It's nearly. There's the issue, Shane. And I know he said it makes a huge mess, but it's very hard to do without burning it. Does that mean it burns on the belts, I guess, when you're shaping it?
Every time I haven't used that stuff, but when I've used Rich Light, I can touch it to the belt and immediately it's brown, like where it immediately got hot and burned.
Kevin Smith and Knives, 16 months.
So I'm not asking you, I'm asking Jacob, with those type of materials, would it do better if I was shaping it on a router instead of a belt? Oh, it's all hand done.
How do you value your knuckles? Real quick hug. Hold on. See, Jacob, this is why you need to be a
Jacob, you're talking about something I don't want to do. Hats off to you if you're hand shaping and hand sanding all that.
Well, and that's why, Jacob, you need to be a guest one night. I need to get in touch with Mrs. VGKC because it seems like she keeps you scheduled. But there's so many people that would love to know how you do. Well, they watch you do it, but you just ask you questions because I would have never known. I mean, when you watch him on that router table, and he did say in his video that it's his scariest tool.
Oh, it is.
But it was you and Kyle that were telling me how scary it was, right?
It was Ryan and I.
Yeah, Ryan.
I had a conversation recently, and Jacob, I don't know if you know the guy Tasca Tools on Instagram. I had a conversation with him recently, and he showed me the pictures of his hand where he was drilling, and not a strong drill, a drill no more powerful than the one I use, and the blade spun and literally destroyed his hand. Like, he will never be the same. He's still in a lot of pain, had to have several surgeries.
Jacob says they've earned his respect. I know they all say that, but and I think Ryan and Kyle were both in agreement that it's not if, it's when, if you do it long enough.
Yeah.
5-door Tasca makes some cool frame locks.
Yeah, he sent me some pictures of his hand. You know, he had to go to the emergency room, had to have emergency surgery. It cut the nerves and tendons. It destroyed his hand.
Well, when he's doing the scales, he's got the knife already assembled. Would that make it more comfortable holding it, Ryan? If you were doing it like this?
No.
And you had your height set to where it was only going to hit those corners?
No, that would make it worse. No, I don't know that I would ever use a router for scales.
On small parts like that, that's sketchy.
Yeah, it's just too much. There's too much of a margin for error there.
I've got a router table sitting there on my table. I haven't plugged it in yet because I'm scared.
Throw it in the trash. For what you're doing, throw it in the trash.
At Helmstown Cabinet Makers, all the guys hate
you already got messed up hands anyway, Shane.
Right.
We all know that. You're going to cut the tip of your finger off, you ain't going to know it.
Yeah. I knew Jacob used a router because I've watched him do it.
He's done thousands of them. What would your alternative be besides hand? Hey, Fred the Lug.
They don't leave you a whole lot of options.
there's not many options. I mean, you could mount it. I guess you could mount it to the table somehow, and you use a router sled maybe. Yeah. But even at that, you're going to end up slinging the knife across the garage.
You guys
shop there.
He does flats too, so they're not all hologrons. But the little thing,
good looking hologron though.
Oh my God! And the chamfer on the Ricasa, the straightness of the grind, and this one looks like it's evenly spaced, but the Tradition and the Tradition Junior, and I don't even know how you do this. The hollow is taller at the front, and it gets a little lower at the heel, and they're even on both sides. Which again, I'm just
that's pure grinding experience.
Well, he's been doing it. They've only been in business for going on a couple of years, but he's been working grinding knives for I think over 10.
You can watch it. You can watch his from the shop videos and tell he's been grinding a long time. Like you watch his and watch mine, it's two completely different things. You can tell.
Shane, you've been doing it 13 and a half months.
Right. I'm using a $28 jig I bought off Amazon that really needs replaced.
You'll eventually, in 2 or 3 years, you'll have systematic little. I mean, and you'll laugh at things that you were doing the way you were doing them now, and what you're doing now is awesome. So it's all cool. That's why I love the fact that y'all cross pollinate. I know not everybody does, but a lot of you cross pollinate trade secrets, what we would call in the woodworking business, and I think that's awesome.
That's kinky.
Cross pollinating.
I cross pollinate with your mom.
You know what? She told me that you were very disappointing. She said she thought you looked like a bull.
Hey,
but it was more like a pygmy warthog.
I got mine.
Yeah.
That's the truth, Jacob.
Jacob, I thought of you the first time I did this. When I first I've never had a contact wheel. Well, I did, but it's like a little 3-inch contact wheel. And when I got my first larger contact wheel, I was running a knife, running the spine down the contact wheel. And as soon as I did it, I kind of had a flash of watching you do it. And I was like, man, this is so much better. Like, when you go from not having a contact wheel to trying to grind a flat on the platen to instead of just being able to stroke it down that wheel, not only is it easier, it removes the material better, it removes it more square, and it looks worlds better. What are you laughing at, Ryan?
Because we're cutting him out of the conversation. Kyle's purposely not saying anything now just so he can make fun of us later.
Kyle's typing something to Ryan. I don't know what they say. I can see the private chat blowing up.
Hey, y'all give me just a second. Let me answer this.
All right.
I'm not saying anything. I'm going to let y'all talk. Look how this thing just cuts through. I mean, there's so little resistance. You know how you can hear a knife cut? Even though they'll cut paper, you can tell the difference in the sound it makes passing through the material.
Oh, yeah.
Just an interesting
What
knife.
you said the name of that is?
This is the Lone Star. Now, it's not on the website yet. It was I'm sure they're going to do more, I'm assuming, but it was the collaboration. I think they dropped 9 of these.
Okay. I was in the chat with the guy that designed it.
Zachary Schmidt. Yeah, we were in there that afternoon.
Yeah, he was in Jacob's chat, and they were talking about it. Yeah, that's a good-looking knife.
Jacob, I need to eventually get a Mosquito, something small. I would love to see, and I mean, your Tradition Junior, you've got small knives, but I would love to see you do a little 6-inch, 6.5-inch guy, like a little, what would you call it? A forging knife. It looked cool. Because this is right at the cusp, because I'm the weird guy that carries fixies in the back right pocket. Or if it's a tiny knife, I carry it appendix style, but I'm so small that a bigger knife on my belt doesn't really work unless I carry it vertically.
I used to carry that Spyderco Enough 2 in K390, which is a full-size knife. I used to carry it in my front pocket all the time. I never had any issues with it.
Well, I could easily carry them in my front pocket if I gave up my primary folder. because I always carry a primary folder in my right pocket front.
You got that good a fixed blade. What do you need a folder for? Folders
because I'm a
awesome.
knife addict. They always say one's none.
Yeah.
I've got a slip joint in my left pocket that I rarely ever take out.
That folder is useless compared to that fixed blade, though.
Guys, I'm going to show y'all just a picture of this, even though I can't until September 1st. But today's the 1st in China. If it was tomorrow, I'm not going to talk about it, but I am going to show it to you real quickly. Many of you won't care.
You're right. We don't care. I'm just kidding. What is it?
I'm not telling you, but it's not what you think it is.
It looks like the Appalachian Drifter from Civivi.
Dude, it's a slip joint.
They made an Appalachian Drifter in a slip joint.
Does that look familiar?
Is it Jack Wolf?
No. But I can show you a Jack Wolf sheath and I can show you a Jack Wolf knife.
Oh, is that the one you were telling me that?
Maybe. Don't say that yet.
All right, my bad.
But dude,
but it does. Do you not remember when Civivi released the Appalachian Drifter?
Yeah.
They released it as a slip joint. It looks just like that.
They did.
That's always one of my favorite.
It does, Fred. I mean, I was very impressed with the quality. Very, very impressed.
Javon, maybe instead of buying that knife, you can save up and buy a breath.
Dude, guess what?
You're on one tonight.
It was sent to me. I'm off my meds.
No, I'm talking about you not being able to breathe. That, the Appalachian Drifter 1 was a slip joint. The 2 was the front flipper. That's what this one is.
Right. But this one's comes in a leather sheath that looks very familiar.
There's a reason why he's interested, Kyle. It's because the fit and finish looks like it was made in the same plant.
I don't agree with you. You and I have a conflict in who the main guy for these Jack Wolf knives are.
Well, we already know
Jack Wolf, huh?
We know.
You say we do.
We do.
I'm holding a counterpoint.
Right, but that very well could be off the same factory line, like we always talk about.
Right. So, now, I'm not taking that into consideration. What I'm taking, true. I mean, I wouldn't. That's above my pay grade.
It's not above your pay grade, John. We've explained to you thousands of times. They're all made on the same factory floor.
Right, and it's not that I don't.
What is Kaiser? What is Best Tech? What is CJR?
I trust you guys, but
marketing companies.
It's possible that there's a little Chinese building or big Chinese building that has Kaisers only. I don't know that they're not. I haven't seen it, so I believe you. But and I've seen some videos that makes me think that Antarctica.
Well, there very well could be. You're right, but their liners are being punched out in the same shop that CJRBs are. They're
very possible.
Yeah.
What I noticed at Blade Show.
If you take all the evil away from the word communism, it's a derivative of the word common. Everything is common. Everything is shared. That's
right.
That's what communism means. Everything is shared. So no, they're not all making their own knife from Tempest OEMs.
Good to see you, Tempest.
That's funny.
What I was saying, and I tried to drag y'all over there because.
But you are right. That knife looks like it was made by the same people that made the jacket.
And the ones that they had on at Blade Show had the titanium, that dark titanium bolster. This one being DLC'd, it doesn't, until you look at it right next to one, you're kind of like, there are differences. There are differences in the spring. One thing that's really cool, they've got the Vanguard, a budget. They did a budget slip joint too. I don't know what it's going to cost, but it's in the other box. And on the spring, instead of having branding on the blade, they put it real small on the spring, which I thought was ingenious. But it's it says Damascus, but it looks like Damasteel. I did send the said faction trio a link. They probably wouldn't be able to join. But yeah, Jacob, I'm going to eventually get a tiny knife from you because I'm going to eventually convince you.
Jacob might not want to make a tiny knife.
He has one, a mosquito. Let me show it to you. It's a stone cold win, but it's a little bit. I didn't hold one at Blade Show, and Kyle, I'll quit talking after this. I'll mute myself, but I expect you to have something to say.
I'm good. I don't have anything to say.
Dude, I don't have anything to say. I'm telling you, I'm off my meds and I'm just spiraling upwards. I'm getting ready to switch from the Starbucks to my THC soda. So hopefully,
I definitely don't think you need an upper right now.
no, that's why the coffee's almost gone. I can't waste it. It was $4.
She said, shoot her an email, John.
Who did?
Mrs. Very Good Knife Company. I like that. That's different. I like
Yeah, that's what I was going to show you.
Yeah,
Is it Sharon?
Yeah.
That's like a pocket Kiradashi. I like that.
Yeah, but that's what I was trying to figure out, and you can maybe help me see it because it's hollow, if I'm not mistaken.
Tempest wants a wrench. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's not a Kiradashi.
Micro, so
like a Kiradashi, but that's,
1.75 inch blade. So he does make a tiny knife, right?
Yeah.
And I think, granted, I love it. I think it's cute and it'd be functional for what I do. But I could see just a really cool, I don't know if they've got a 6-incher, a beautiful knife. My favorite knife that Jeff has is the Falcon. And I haven't experienced many of these knives except on the table at Blade Show when you're kind of overwhelmed. But this knife right here, Jeff has in the Signature series, which has shred carbon fiber. It's Mars Valley, or it's red and white. I don't know what you'd call it. Beautiful fat carbon. But it's a hollow ground sheep's foot that's right around 7 3/4 inches. Isn't that pretty?
Yeah, it's cool looking.
Oh, I'm not sharing it. It is pretty, just so y'all know. So pretty, I'm gonna fly into it. All right, after I show you all this, I'm gonna quit talking.
He said the wasp was 6.5.
Okay, we'll go look at the wasp here in just a second. What do you think of that, though, Shane? Kyle?
I really wish that trailhead knife I made. That knife kind of reminds me of the trailhead.
You like this one, right? The Huntsman?
But I wish he had done better because I really like that knife. And people who own it and have used it love it. But it's kind of almost like one of those knives that you have to use to really appreciate what it was for.
See, I don't think anybody's ever designed a knife to open cat food and Amazon packages.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of knives that are very effective at it. I like that 6 3/4.
Yeah, there you go. That's he already makes the knife you're talking about.
A little hollow. Well, that's a cool one.
Different. I have mixed emotions about small clip points. I'd almost rather it be a straight back being that size. But
when you say a straight back,
just a straight, the spine is straight all the way out to the tip.
I got you.
Kind of like a mordax. But I've never needed. There's a lot of clip point blades that I appreciate and I like the way they look. But the whole purpose to the clip, I've never needed that in my life.
Guys, these are, and no offense to Shane,
it's a swedge, not a clip.
but these are the cleanest knives I've experienced. And again,
the pictures are very clean.
He's not a photographer either. I think he's just shooting these on his table.
Yeah, that's as basic.
I'm looking. I shoot pictures like this where I can see the lights in the background. There's nothing wrong with them, but they could be made to look very, very nice. But they don't need that extra, right? I mean, the handle to blade ratio to me has always been very comfortable. I love his taco sheaths. Not a fan of the clip, but the fact that a knife maker even sends a clip is great because I'm going to put, a deep concealment on it. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Was that shadow box or is it?
It looked like it was layered, didn't it? Or
I think it's layered.
You just got corrected, by the way.
Let me stop sharing so I can get back in the chat.
Yeah, I read it out loud.
They do eat birds, but they leave them as presents. Clips are my favorite looking, good for nothing. Actually, stabbing your fat rolls.
Oh, the rabbit's back, by the way, guys.
Oh, awesome, dude. Healthy, or has it been out just making other rabbits?
No, it's been home twice. We caught it a couple of days ago. Took it home. I went outside today, and there she was in the yard eating grass again.
Are neighbors seeing you with the rabbit?
I don't know if I'm going to give it back to them.
No, I don't want you to give it back. I just want people to witness you with it. So when the neighborhood's overrun with strange-looking rabbits, that everybody knows that it was that irresponsible Shane.
It's not my rabbit. I've just been.
Did you name it Randy?
Yeah.
If you mix a rabbit with huge ears and Shane with no ears, does it come out looking like regular ears?
Yeah.
Good to see you, This is very good. Let's go see.
My favorite looking good for nothing but accidentally stabbing your fat rolls. Yeah, and that's what I was getting at, Jacob. I mean, clip point was technically made to make a knife easier to stab into something, and I don't need that in my life, but I like a clip point. But a clip point and a Tonto are kind of in the same ballpark for me. If I'm going to carry a clip point or a Tonto, they just make it a damn combat knife. You know,
I thought for some
reason, to carry
reason
something that small, I'd rather either have a Wharncliffe or a straight back. That's just me. I ain't talking about, people definitely don't buy everything that I want. You have to make what everybody else wants.
So there are 2 Mustangs with grip tech left on this drop at 2 1/4, and they are 7 3/4 inches hollow ground.
Yeah.
And they're Nitro V. And then we've got, I got to look at the size of these 2. Hornet is sold out, but I saw another one. Where was it?
I don't know about Jacob, but I'm excited for this Nitro X7. If it's it's testing really, really well. I'm excited to make that. I really want to make that my budget still, because the price is supposed to still be really good, but with 3 to 4 times the edge retention of normal Nitro V, the same toughness, same corrosion resistant. I'm excited about that, man.
You ought to share some of your findings with Jacob.
I almost don't want to buy any Nitro V just because I know that's coming. And but I don't know how long it's going to be, so I'll probably have.
Ooh, there's a Wasp in stock. A little guy for $155. Look at that, $155.
Is all his sales strictly off his website, or does?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't think he has. No, he has dealers. My bad. I'm sorry, Jacob. He's got.
Because that looks like an ideal thing to have on Blade Bench.
It's very good. I want to talk to you tomorrow, or I can maybe find out about your dealer, because I might have a dealer here in North Alabama for you. I'm going to do another walkthrough of their store tomorrow. You can see one on my website. They're great. They're a destination store here in the Southeast. But guys, that's a beautiful little Wasp in grip tech. It's still available. And lastly, some Hawks. Now, my buddy A to Z has a Hawk. I've got one of these on the site. This is the beast, and it's slicey. It's a flat grind, Nitro V.
I like that.
Yeah, it's 7.7, but it's beefy, Shane. The handle's beefy and the blade's tall. So for like a back pocket knife, it was just a little much.
Yeah.
And you can see here. But yeah, good USA made knives, really nice people.
Yeah, I was talking to John about that. We're looking at possibly making the fret even thinner. It's pretty thin now, but it could get even thinner. So we're looking into that.
We're gonna get Jacob on one night to share some of the stuff, and his because like I say, his knowledge goes back, and I'll let him tell you the story of what he was grinding. But I think y'all will be very impressed with what his hands have crafted over the years. I'm gonna put a link here to their website in case any of y'all want to jump over to the drop.
Who's Vinny Bag of Donuts?
Hey, Vinny Bag of Donuts. That sounds familiar. Who goes by that? That's either Maddie or Shane, I think.
Huh.
Jacob, I've got one that I've got people standing in line for if I get rid of it because it's crew wear. If you're talking about a SPK.
Yeah,
hologram fret. I think that would be next level. But the thing about the fret is, and I haven't done the video on it because one of the values is these are all hand sharpened by Kyle, Klingenwek Sharpening. So there are a lot of talent that go into these to make them, I think, special. But the shipping.
The advantage to a fret being hollow ground would be aesthetic, just because you like the way it looks. Because Kyle and I both looked like when I went from hollow grinds to flat grinds on the thugs.
Hey, Vinny.
I went to a thinner blade stock So it's just as stand behind the edge with the flat grind as it is the hollow. The fret would kind of be the same way, but that wouldn't be one I would want to start learning to hollow grind on just because of the way it turns up. And
right, that little bump in the spine would make it tricky too. 1931. Reach out to Very Good Knife Company on Instagram. That's Mrs. VG. You'll get the message, and y'all chat because you do design and have some killer collabs out there.
He does. I've got some pictures from Terry that I'm looking forward to making.
Collusion is a great knockoff.
It'll be a while before I can do it. Collusion's great.
I think that's our buddy. I wish one of them clicked their links. I said, y'all can come if you get really, really bored or if you want to yell at somebody in chat. And I figured that would draw one of them out. I sent Sheree.
Ryan's going to be a while, dude, because I bet that phone call he's having to use the Google Translator.
Kyle, what have you been up to, buddy? Besides typing.
Kyle?
Did you watch football today?
No. I was sorry, I was responding to some messages I had left over. No, today I just was working on pictures mainly.
Pictures of what?
Some knives I worked on.
Oh, I guess.
You know how long it takes them to make...
My screen ain't all busted up no more.
What would your message mean about you moved your apps, but something?
Oh, I was telling Kyle when I got this new phone today, there was probably going to be a long night of me trying to figure out how to get all my apps off my old phone onto this phone because I'm horrible with passwords and all that stuff. But I did it. I did have to get Katie to put in the Wi-Fi password, but past that, I managed to get
I'm going there right now, buddy.
my banking, all my PayPals, everything. I got it all switched over.
Ryan, come back after the phone call. I'm going to quit talking. I'm going to mute myself so y'all can get in on the conversation.
We don't want you to quit talking, John. That's not the point.
Well, I'm talking about nothing. I'm going off on
a conversation, and then we want to comment on it, and then you move on to a whole nother conversation without ever taking a breath.
Well, that's why I need to stop. I need to kind of get y'all in on.
You just have to do like I do. Just get loud and just keep talking till you stop.
Y'all recognize that? I'm not sharing it. God,
how would I recognize it?
Because I'm not sharing it.
Yeah, if we can't see it.
I'm going back to go to this message, but.
Are you going to share it?
I'm sharing it now. Should be.
What is that?
You'll see when they pull back on it.
Well, that's a brave sharpening tool right there. You see how
that's the knife we were just looking at. That's the Lone Star.
Yeah,
the Very Good Knife Company.
See, the problem was you were talking about this knife and showing another knife.
I know, because I've got a squirrel brain.
When he turned that, and you could see looking into the sharpening tool, and you see how it makes that perfect T, dude. That is some fine grinding right there. And that's why my Brave had that plunge not been perfect from side to side, that would have looked jacked up, but it doesn't.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
He took all the risks. I don't even know if he realized it, but he took all the risks there. That was the first thing I set out to do, was to get my plunge. So when you turn the knife and you're looking into the edge, so that when you could see those plunges, I wanted them to meet exactly. They may not always meet exactly, but he did a hell of a job on that.
This guy lives somewhere around us, Shane. He was at the Rocket City Knife Show and at Blade Show. Do you know W. Glenn Knives?
I had my driver defense shirt on tonight. I like that guy, man. I like what he does, but I feel like they just need either. I feel like they're walking the fence between plain and tactical, and it needs to tilt one way or the other.
Dustin?
Yeah, like his tactical stuff. I don't know, man. I just feel like they need to be a little bit edgier.
I think he's a country guy who just likes to draw, because some of his stuff's on the fantasy side even.
Yeah. I might like more of his fantasy stuff. But sometimes I feel like he's trying to be a little too safe on it. And that's not me making fun. Don't anybody go run and tell him that. But I feel like he's been a little too safe on his tactical looking stuff. But he made some badass T-shirts.
I'm going to do a little practice on sharpening this guy.
You have a driver defense there? What are you doing?
I do. I'll grab it out of my case here in just a sec.
Yeah. Y'all gonna shit come when you see the custom sheet theory made from Age America.
But this is my little combatant.
Drew, dude, if I shit come, I'm not doing any more business with Terry.
I'm going to do some testing on this. I think this one's Nitro V, though. I think I'll have to.
Who is that?
That's ADCRV2. It's Tim. TKL. But this is a little thicker than the Raider, but I want to cut some cardboard and dull it and then sharpen it and just kind of experience it a little bit more than just cutting with it.
Yeah, I'm very interested in that sapper. I'd really like to check that.
Yeah. I'm gonna talk to them about that knife. I've never looked at. I've had a couple of big knives been sent out, and I had this big tree fall over in my backyard. Yeah. I say big tree. It's probably only 12 inches diameter, but there's some great limbs to hack on, and I really enjoy that. I need to film it.
Well, you got pretty good testing grounds in your. Don't you have a
bamboo garden back there?
Yeah, you got a bamboo garden, dude. That's
that stuff cuts through like a water bottle. That doesn't do a lot of. It doesn't show a lot of hard use on a knife unless it's a real small knife, because you can literally hack it with one of those big knives and it'll just cut like a water bottle.
It makes you feel like a man.
Oh, yeah, it does. Something about swinging a big knife is very, very impressive.
Yeah. And Kyle's gone.
Make Ryan come back. I want to let him talk.
He's on the phone.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he had a phone call. I'm sure it was a work call or he wouldn't have jumped in. Well, whether it was work or home, both more important than us.
I want to get somebody from TKL to come on. I want them to be a guest one Friday night too. They do their show every Sunday morning. I think it's at 9 a.m. because that's always when I'm just going to sleep. But they're live for several hours, and I think they have close to 1,000 people in there. I mean, they've got a big live.
I prefer Jacob's live streams just because with Tim I get to hear him talk about his knives, and with Jacob I get to watch him make them.
Right. It's just it's a different thing altogether.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So guys, what I'm thinking about doing
is still a handmade knife company where Tim is a production knife company.
Right.
Nothing wrong.
I'm thinking about doing a 24-hour stream, Shane, do a membership drive, but I'm not going to publicize it like with big balloons and shit, but just to be on stream for 24 hours when people ask why, I say I'm just trying to get some channel memberships and talk about knives.
Do that shit vertical, or it's a waste of your time.
Yeah, I'm thinking about doing, just so you guys know, I'm thinking about doing.
I got to round up this damn tried and true for you. I'm not even sure where it's at.
I'm not. Don't worry about that, buddy. And I made it to Tennessee, by the way.
Okay. Well, actually, I think I see it now. Let me go grab it.
That tried and true, the beautiful knife. I don't know if Jacob's still in here or if he's seen that, but that's the knife that Steve Caleri, Super Steel Steve, collaborated. He didn't collaborate. He made it and had had Alex Steingraber, SPK, machine it, make it out for him, send it back, and then he did the hand grinding on it.
Yeah, Steingraber machined it out, heat treated it, all that stuff, sent them to Steve. Steve ground them and installed the handles. But I'm pretty sure
Alex expected it to what he would have done it to, right?
Alex did pre-ship. Now, guys, this is easily he considers this an EDC knife.
It seems like an EDC knife. I guess it's 7 inches long.
Yeah. I wanted this for two reasons. It's 67 HRC K390. So it is absolutely not hard use. But
Vinny Bag of Donuts has got some experience in the knife business, Shane. Share what you know about that Nitrox X. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Who did?
Vinny Bag of Donuts. He's a
I don't know that much about it. I was just there when the CEO of that company was talking to Steve about it. I just happened to be sitting at the same table. And then Steve tested it and he cut, I don't know exact numbers, 550, 560 feet of cardboard with it on one edge. And guys, that's surpassing any, you can almost name it, almost any production steel you've ever used.
Is it pretty tough too?
It's still tough. It lost, to gain that edge retention, it had to lose a little toughness in it. But when I say a little toughness, it's still tougher than 1095, it's still tougher than crew wear, but it gained that edge retention, and it's still stainless. But the main thing is it's supposed to only be a couple dollars more than regular Nitro V. That's why I'm excited about it. I'm excited that people like me and people like Jacob have an opportunity when that steel hits the market, that we can have an absolutely excellent lower end budget steel to be able to offer.
Yeah.
You know,
well,
and
that's
when you
why I
start
think
talking about paying $100 more for a knife in a super steel, but the returns on that, you know, I mean, don't get me wrong, compared to the edge retention on this is absolutely going to be better. But we're getting to a point where budget steels are getting so close that you're going to start questioning, you know, should I even pay for Magnamax if this is that good? I don't know. Yeah.
I haven't seen his video on it.
Steve was just HRC testing some S90. He hit 65.5, so I'll be making a phone call about that.
Well, I just think I know you know Tim, and I know you know Jacob, and I just think you having some of those conversations, just sharing the stuff that you found out. They might not be interested in it, but like talking to Suzanne, she made it sound like, you know, Tim hadn't had a need or a thought about really super steels. Yeah. Now they are doing their folder in MagnaCut, right? So that's going to open a door for them, right?
Right, as it should.
That's true, Jacob. I think what Shane's saying is he's found a lot of
it around though. I will pay for it. That's just my thing.
But your market's different.
But I offer both. Yeah, my market's a little different. I will pay triple for it.
If you can get the return, if the market is speaking that return.
That's what I'm saying. You know, I may pay triple to only get a 20% better steel. I know on paper that doesn't.
But your mission statement is different. You're trying to offer the best knife for the best price. You're not doing it on a.
I mean, I do still try to offer those same knives in Nitro V, and just like with the kitchen knives, when all y'all ask me, I'll try to talk you out of paying for the MagnaCut. I just think unless you're a professional chef cutting with that knife all day long, you're not going to see an advantage of MagnaCut over Nitro V in a kitchen knife. Now, if you want it, I'll make it, you know, but yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that mindset either. That's how this whole conversation came up, was I was curious as to why you chose that steel. Why, I'm curious as to why everybody chooses every steel that they use. I'm curious as to why Steve chose K390, something notoriously fragile for this, but I know it's fragile, so I'm going to use it that way. So it's okay.
I don't know much about K390. What's its main edge retention?
Yeah, but it's not tough. I mean, it's tougher than Maximet 15V. And
how's it cost? I mean, comparative to other tough.
It's definitely one of those that I would say you've passed your point of positive return on what it costs to buy it.
So it's an expensive steel?
Yeah. One of the most expensive.
That's true, Angry Top Hat.
Yeah.
Paul says it's not fragile. It patinas too, Kate.
Well, relatively speaking, I mean, compared to Nitro V or ADC RV2, it's extremely fragile.
In terms of lateral.
Yeah. In terms of using it for things the knife wasn't meant to use.
Last week when we were in Jacobs, when I was looking for that
now,
video.
You probably couldn't break Paul's knife in K390 because it's 8 inch thick and it's this long.
And like we've always talked about, guys, and the more I read, the more confused I get. But I do believe geometry's 8/10 of the equation. Maybe not 8/10, maybe more like 6/10 or 7/10. Right. But I think we did watch last week. Didn't we watch Jacob breaking tips off? That's when you talk about strength. You're talking about lateral tests. When we couldn't find the video with his backpack, but he would stab it down in that piece of wood and he'd push it forward to see where the tip would break and how far down it would break. That would be considered the strength of the steel, right? It's lateral ability.
Five Door, I'm curious about this because this K390 was blasted and then acid washed, which gives it a really nice finish. But typically, blasting on something that patinas only speeds up the patina. So I'm curious to see, where this thing goes in the next couple of years.
Like Paul said, Mad Wax. I'm a big fan, and I don't know if it's a good thing, but I use, not because it's KPL, but because it's a vegetable oil. It's like their kitchen product.
Yeah.
And I just keep it on a rag, and the rag never dries out. So it's just I guess a food safe oil. And I keep my carbon steel or patina type knives with a little coat of that on them. But Mad Wax is good too, or Yako, yeah, Mad Wax, or any of your other waxes.
Before I got Mad Wax, everybody that got a knife from me, it was they all came oiled in Said Stevie Beard Balm.
Yeah, Beard Balm. That's what I'm gonna say. Said Stevie's Beard Balm, or
oils. That's what I used.
I first learned about that from Lancelot when he said his could be used for that.
Kyle's back. We didn't run you off, did we, buddy?
No, I just went over and hung out in Beast because I was welcome there to talk.
These fucking Ohio State people. What's the deal? Don't get your feelings.
Those winners.
Do what?
He said these winners.
What winners?
Ohio State.
Oh, never mind.
Get back in here, Ryan. Here, look, I'm meeting right now.
Somebody got talk. Get at it, Kyle.
You go for it. You guys have been.
I need a payday, and we offered you a chance to talk, and you said you didn't have anything to say.
My wife. Yoko, what's up, buddy? That package is going out in the morning. I got everything ready to go.
God, y'all make this show boring.
I know it.
I mute out for 30 seconds and I'm starting to go squirrely over here.
Well, it's because you're running at like 120 miles an hour.
It's actually just my idle speed is set higher than most. Because I don't have energy. I don't feel like I could go out and convert this to like something.
Hey, here's a totally non-related topic. I know you know about it, John. What do y'all think of this Raha Jackson and that professional wrestler incident?
I know he's conscious and talking, right? Looks like he's going to make a full recovery. I haven't heard any of the legal stuff going on with Raha. Did he get arrested?
Not yet.
Because you see all this YouTube clickbait where it makes you wonder if it is. And when it's got a question mark, I know that's just trying to get me to click.
Yeah.
That's why you guys are going to see question marks on my thumbnail.
I'm a wrestling fan. And now I'm an MMA fan. And the only part that really grabbed my attention, I disagree, Drew. The part that really grabbed my attention was when Rampage Rampage started calling people racist because they called his son an animal. That was an animalistic thing that he did.
It scared grown-up wrestlers. Have you seen the interview?
It has nothing to do with race or racism. He acted like an animal in there. He nearly killed that man.
Right. It's not a matter of, it's just the act itself. But were we watching it together or did I watch it alone where they interviewed the guy who actually broke it up and then headbutted him where the other grown men just stood around? This guy said we're supposed to be his friends, didn't have the courage to go in there and break it up. And they show him go in and he just suplexes the guy, takes him to the corner and headbutts him.
A lot of mistakes were made. Them taking him backstage where the wrestlers were hanging out. So, which that is what allowed Stu to assume
that was a work.
That he was a wrestler.
Jesse said that was a work.
It absolutely was a work. I mean, he looked at him and said, "Are you going to sell it?"
And he leaned into it.
I didn't know what he was talking about. I knew what he was talking about because I was a long-time wrestling fan. I'm not anymore. But the fact that this is what happened. He sat there for an hour with his chat calling him a bitch.
He got rage baited, is what they
He
call
got
that.
rage baited and then acted like a fucking animal. That's exactly.
And he had a concussion. Hey, Bobo.
I don't care.
Can't remember.
What's up, Bobo? I don't know. I don't really care one way or another, but if you do that, regardless of if it's supposed to be staged or not, you're still held accountable for it.
Yeah. And I would say it's attempted murder, if anything. If it's attempted anything, I don't think it's attempted assault, attempted battery, or battery. I think it's attempted murder. Because I thought that guy had died until I talked to Shane later that night.
He had died. At one point, they had to resuscitate him.
Well, they said his throat was full of blood and teeth.
Right.
He couldn't get air when he came back to.
Yeah. That is what makes it confusing. And that is what will make it really confusing in court. Is that part of it was staged, part of it wasn't, but I don't think the two people involved knew what the other was thinking.
Well, there may be some heavy duty.
Stu jumped and gave him his weight. That's
Yeah, so he could put him up in that position. He did not pick him up.
He didn't pick that guy up like that by himself.
I noticed that too.
He propelled himself up and gave him his weight to let him slam him. And everything he did from that point forward was criminal.
Yeah, you don't punch someone like that and being fake.
No.
23 times, or was it 26?
23.
23.
I had a buddy I used to think a lot of. We got in a fight outside of a bar one night, and he had knocked a guy out. Was walking off, turned around and looked at the crowd, laughed, and kicked the guy in the mouth and kicked his teeth out. And
you don't hit a man when he's down.
With him since. That dude was unconscious.
Yeah, when you get somebody down and they've given up or they're unconscious, you back off, even if you're not in a professional fight. That's just human decency. Not that fighting human decency, but it's human nature.
I had seen him in a situation like that before where he told the
You
guy,
too, Vinny. Thanks for stopping by, buddy.
Yeah. It is crazy how it's the big thing now. Like it's everywhere. But I'll say this, Jesse is my least favorite person to watch for stuff like that, dude.
I agree, but I'm not that deep into it, so he shows up in my feed.
Yeah, he shows up in mine too.
And he's an entertainment guy. You got to realize that a lot of what he's doing is for drama and for clicks,
right, and
for grifts. You know, he's a super chat guy. He's into all that crap.
He'd have Gabby on there naked if he thought he could get away with it, if it'd get him more subscribers.
Does he strike you as a steroid rager? In his free time, I mean, he's always real red. He strikes me as somebody.
He used to train it. Well, he still does train MMA, but at one point he wanted to be a fighter.
Well, I thought he was. I was under the impression that he had kind of a semi-successful career.
I don't know about a semi-successful career.
Better than Rajah Jackson.
I don't know all the details there.
But what I was going to say is, if you went to a UFC fight and Vince McMahon had a tight contract, this was a, whatever you call it, a backroom match, and it's televised, and one of the wrestlers, let's say Logan Paul, God willing, snaps and beats a guy almost to death, that's still a crime, even though it's a production.
It's outside of what is sanctioned and agreed upon. It's at the very least assault and battery.
Well, kind of similar, but different. The motives are different, but to Alec Baldwin doing a movie, accidentally shoot somebody. I mean, it wasn't intentional, but we don't know it wasn't intentional. He could have been like Garth Brooks in a serial killer.
As much as I dislike Alec Baldwin, that was not Alec Baldwin's fault. There is one person on a movie set that is responsible for that.
The firearms person.
Yeah, the armory. And the fact that they hired a 22-year-old chick with no experience because her dad had done it and she was cheap. That's 100% on that production company.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not taking up for him. They're not really the same.
That was not Alex's fault.
To me, it doesn't matter what the stage is.
What Alex's fault was him trying to lie his way out of something that he wasn't even responsible for.
Let's say it was
I didn't even pull the trigger. All that was lies. And that
was just
worse.
Yeah. But let's say it was the filming of Jack Wick 10 or John Wick 10, and Keanu's on set. And instead of doing his stunt shit, he beats somebody to death. That's still a crime. So I don't see how if it's been turned over to LAPD, how they can't charge Raja.
There have been boxers that have beat their opponent to death in the ring. That's happened several
A bunch, but that's a fight.
Everything that happened was within the realm of the rules and what was agreed upon. So it was
right. That's a different type of I'm not going to sue you agreement.
Right.
Yeah, that's Todd. That's what we got talking about, because I was talking about something even weirder, and Shane was trying to pull me out of that conversation, which he did successfully.
I'm sure Kyle's over there bawling because I said it wasn't Alec Baldwin's fault.
No, of course it was his fault.
I agree, Kyle.
I just ignored that stupid ass comment.
Yeah. Alec Baldwin went out and
I said it, I was Kyle's going to be mad.
No,
I was what he was told to do. That was what he was supposed to do in the movie. He was supposed to point an empty, unloaded gun.
They weren't filming. They weren't filming. They were even doing a lens setup. Right. He was just a misogynist who had an opportunity to kill a chick.
Yeah, exactly.
Or as they say, bag of dough.
They're
well, that's a good point, Jeffrey Dawson.
Shane wants to go down that rabbit hole of it. They just told me to, so it's okay. No self accountability.
Very smart, Jeffrey. Good to see you, buddy.
No, Shane, what I was looking up was I was trying to figure out, because you brought up someone's name earlier, and you're talking about wrestling. I was trying to figure out what he actually wrestled under. AJ's brother, Ryan, used to be a wrestler, an MMA fighter for a while.
Who?
AJ Hawk's brother, Ryan Hawk.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Which is more lucrative? Like say you're top level wrestler.
You're making no money until you get towards the top.
UFC?
No, I'm not.
And neither.
I'm talking about a Colin McGregor, a superstar versus a superstar.
It's very clear where you can make the most money, because Brock walked away from UFC to go back to WWE. However, that's not a very good example, because he was probably the highest paid man in the WWE because of that. Or with UFC, you can only fight a couple times a year and make a few million, but you still have to be way on up there. But I guess
it's a lot more sanctioned too.
People like Jake Paul talking about fighter pay in the UFC, guys, none of it adds up. When you look at what they say they're paying those guys and the lifestyles that they live, Dana is handing them so much cash under the table off the tax books. That's why he won't talk about it. They're all making way more money than what the fighter pay shows.
Matt's dropping facts. That's a fact, Jack.
My buddy, Jamie, you were talking to Amber about it, but my buddy who I went to high school with, who wrestled professionally for years overseas. Chris Hero.
Yeah.
Yeah. He made, this goes back, he made most of his money back in those days because he was wrestling in Japan and some of those leagues, which they paid a lot.
Japan.
And he was also doing videos, like selling VHS and DVDs and all that kind of stuff, and making a ton off of merch and that kind of. But
yeah, they're just like a small. It's no different than any other industry. It's just like being a small rock band or a country band. If you can sell a few tickets and you can sell some merch, you can make a decent living. But
what's up, Cliff? Keep it up. I want to thaw out your igloo.
I watched an interesting thing with Tucker Carlson interviewing John Daly, and I know you know this, but he goes to Augusta every year and he parks his RV at the Hooters for a week, and he sets up a merch tent and just hangs out in the parking lot, signs autograph, meets people, and hangs out at Hooters, his favorite place.
You didn't know that, did you, Kyle?
Yes, I knew that.
$400,000 a year is what he takes. Kyle might have told me that. I thought I saw it on that Tucker Carlson interview, but he nets about $400K because he's also a major gambling addict. He plays $1,000 slots.
Yeah.
So he basically, Tucker and him were talking about he's not as set up as you'd think he would be.
He's not doing bad.
No,
but
God knows, because he's still got a viable way to make money. I mean, I could live off $400,000 a year. I know he's got more.
I want to go to Nashville right now to spend money at his bar.
His bar looks cool.
Yeah.
Never seen it. I'm gonna Google it.
Just just because he's the greatest golfer to ever live.
He's the greatest athlete.
I'm going to end this stream.
He's the most entertaining golfer there's ever been.
I'll tell you this. I will give you one thing. He is the most unathletic looking person you've ever seen.
Yeah. I don't know. Who do you think between him and Roy Nelson?
Not even chance.
I think Roy Nelson was a better athlete than John Daly.
No.
He's fatter than John.
Not if you knew what it takes as far as hand-eye coordination and some of the things he was doing back then. Absolutely not.
That all boils down to athleticism, though.
It's called John Daly's Nashville.
Yeah.
On Division.
It's on my Instagram every day.
Well, it's about to be on mine.
That dude is a hero.
Dude, they say he drinks like on a normal tour, he'll drink like 12 Cokes, 21 cigarettes.
A whole bottle of Jack Daniels.
They don't talk about that as much.
Not anymore. He's cut back a lot.
Yeah. He used to be drunk out there on tour, like on the course.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he had a cocaine addiction.
No,
wasn't he drunk and high when he beat Tiger?
Yes. He was up all, that's one of the greatest stories ever. And I heard him tell it about him being up at that little small tournament, and he and Tiger both had a bad day, and they were paired the next day. And John was sitting there, and he named off 3 other golfers, and they didn't have a glass of Crown. They had a bottle of what they were drinking. And Tiger came back in from dinner, and John invited him to sit down for a drink again, and he wouldn't. And basically, Tiger said, "Do you remember you got to play Knocking on Heaven's Door for the sponsors tonight?" And he was like, "Oh, really? Okay." And so he went in there, killed it, went back to the bar after getting, playing his song, and kept drinking. And Tiger's like, shook his head and went up to go to bed. He's got to go to the driving range in the morning, turned it down again. Daly didn't go to the driving range. All he does is walks up to the pitching green and hits like 4 or 5, maybe 10 pitches, because he says if you can get your pitch down, everything else is fine. I don't know if I agree with that because I'm not a golfer. But he beat Tiger by 5 strokes that day.
Yeah.
Well, the one that's the actual most impressive out of all of those was when he won the British Open the morning of. He drank an entire 5th of Jack before he went out on the golf course just to try to calm his nerves.
Some people can perform like that, man.
Well, that's hardcore alcoholism and extreme God-given or learned talent. Because I think the point with him being the greatest athlete is to do everything so wrong. He's been able to continue to live.
I think if Roy Nelson had got down to 205, I think he may have been a greater light heavyweight champion than John Jones.
Yeah,
I think he would have ran through John Jones had he got down to 205.
Dawson's correct. That was another one that's probably one of the most unathletic people you'd ever see.
Yeah.
Jeffrey, do y'all remember when the MLB was plagued with all the what's up, Jesse? Was all plagued with the cocaine problem because they said they were so bored? That too, Jeffrey, that they were all playing baseball, drinking, doing cocaine on the field or in the dugout or whatever. It was a huge scandal. It was back in the early 80s.
I did think it's pretty funny when John Jones told Daniel Cormier, because Daniel Cormier was making fun of his drug use, and he was like, "Dude, I'd beat you after a weekend of whores and cocaine." That was pretty good.
Ellis, he was never good.
What's up, One Moon? He was good. He was in a good system.
No, he was never good.
Yes, he was.
No, he was not.
Kyle, you can't watch his tape and see some of the shit he did. He was good.
No,
he may not have been. He went to a shit team. Is what ruined him. Had he took the same routes that Stetson Bennett's taken and go to a team that would put up with his shit and try to mature him a little bit and fix his problems, that you don't beat Alabama.
Absolutely not.
If you're not good.
He was not built for the NFL. He could run around and be crazy in college and get away with some of those throws, but he was not a good NFL
He's bigger
quarterback.
than Kyler Murray. And Kyler Murray's having a successful NFL career.
And a lot of that's, in developing them, you know, going from that transition from college to pro. I think there's probably a lot of mental that goes with that as much as getting yourself slammed. Can you imagine?
Same thing about that Clemson receiver that's the white kid that beat
Tyler Renfro.
Yeah, Renfro. People say he wasn't built for the NFL. He's a fine NFL player.
He was built for the slot. He wasn't built to be out on the edge.
I can't imagine being a Johnny Manziel, and I know you get hit hard in college, but then having your first NFL game and having every player keying on you and getting hit by those guys for the first 24 times.
I don't think you can judge any quarterback over the past 10 years that's been stuck in Cleveland. I just don't. If you judge any of those guys, considering they're on a shit team with shit ownership and one good player on defense. Now, they've had some receivers, don't get me wrong, but
Agreed, Ron.
I just don't think you get to judge.
They've had.
I think you can sent.
Listen, hang on. They've got consistent.
He'd be a nobody.
They have consistently had the top 5 offensive line for the last 10 years. It's not about playing behind them. They've played, or they've done horrible because they've done horrible drafting.
How do you have a top 5 line if you've drafted horribly?
Because they don't have a quarterback.
Is that because
seriously? Look at the stats. Their line is top 5 for the last 10 years.
So their strategy or something must be flawed.
Yeah, they've gone through. Literally, this is the first time we've had a coach that lasted more than like 3 years in almost 20 years. We've constantly coached in and out.
I'm just saying, I don't think you could have put.
What's Auburn's quarterback?
Who's that kid who plays for Buffalo? I'm forgetting his name.
Josh Allen.
I don't think Josh Allen would have done well at Cleveland. I don't think it was a quarterback problem. Do they need a great quarterback? Of course they do. All teams need a good quarterback. But I think even Josh Allen would have failed at Cleveland.
It was a culture problem because you're constantly changing. The ownership was always involved.
Right.
You're constantly changing GMs.
It was a losing culture.
You probably feel more like you're working for a corporation than playing for a team.
Yeah. I 100% agree. But to say that they weren't, like, Manziel and Baker both had great lines to play behind. That was not the line's fault.
But did they have the playbook to supplement that? Like, was the strategy of the team to utilize that line for a smaller throwing quarterback and have receivers that cater to that and backs that cater to that? I don't know. Cliff, that's right. Armchair quarterback. What else are you going to do? We can either gossip about people that are leaving their YouTube channel, talk shit about people who grift for money, or we can talk about football. I try to choose debate, not hate, and I'm filled with hate. I don't want it to overspew.
I like to choose anything I know Kyle disagrees with me on. And I'm not saying Manziel could have been a great quarterback anywhere else. I'm just saying I don't judge any quarterback that was stuck in that system.
Manziel did not possess the work ethic. Manziel came from the you can't do anything wrong school of camp, and he liked cocaine. That's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, he was a party boy and immature.
My brother was a victim of that. You know, he was just naturally bigger, stronger, and faster than everybody and never had to work for it. And then when he got to a level where everybody was as big and strong and fast as he was and had to work for it, he couldn't hang because he had never had to have that work ethic. That dude did some amazing stuff in college.
And you know what's interesting?
So did Vince Young, and watched a lot of guys do amazing.
Yeah, I mean, okay, one of the best raw talent arms to come out was Jamarcus Russell.
Yeah, just lacked maturity.
Cliff has a wrench.
I think that's why Green Bay never has these problems. They get a quarterback, they mature him for 3 to 4 years under somebody else, and then they stick with the same program, and it works. Even if you're not winning Super Bowls, it works.
But you would think an NFL team.
They're doing it. Pittsburgh works. They ain't had a losing season.
Well, I also had one quarterback for almost 20 years too.
Yeah, I'm excited that football's back, though. I do enjoy it. I know a lot of people in the knife community don't.
True, dude, it's a health reason, but I'll drop you a link.
Bernie Kosar made it work.
Yeah, it is FUD. And he made a video about it. I wouldn't have made a video about it. When I leave YouTube, you know how you're going to know? I'm not going to have lives. And I might post a thank you video, but I don't think you need to come out and say, you know, I don't know. I'm different. I'm weird.
So what was up with Sean Ryan posting that my last interview video and then nothing changed?
That's clickbait. I mean, that's standard.
It was his last interview in that studio. He's moving studios.
That's kind of lame.
I agree.
That's so wise, Todd.
I agree.
I mean, had he came out and said that's what he meant, maybe he did come out and say it at some point during that video. Maybe I didn't.
Oh, he did. He did, because in that video, he went through the first line was going through about all the stuff. This is the last video in this studio, and he was going through doing highlights of like some of his favorite stuff over the time.
Well, the new studio looks almost identical. It's a little better backlit. Got a little cooler liquor wall.
Well, it's huge. I mean, they designed it to be similar, but I mean, the new building is like massive.
And the walls went from green to purple, didn't they? Didn't they used to be like forest green and now they're purple?
I haven't looked at the new walls, but I haven't watched a video in probably 2 or 3 weeks.
That's a man's sport right there, Neil.
I wish I could I've tried, Neil. Several times I tried. It's just not for me.
Have you ever gone to one live like a Huntsville, a UAH, or a...
No.
Dude, if you ever sit down...
I even remember when they came out with the thing where they had the blue streak that followed the puck. I know a lot of hockey purists hated it, but I thought, well, I'll give it another chance because maybe I can keep up with the game better now. But I still...
It's the hits. When you watch even a college game live and you're sitting alongside the glass...
constantly.
Huh?
I can watch an MMA fight and see nothing but hits. Why would I watch 2.5 hours of hockey?
Because they're doing it strategically, and the way that they've got the balls to me, it's just, I don't watch it on TV either, in all fairness, but I'm just saying, to be a man's sport, I had a buddy who played youth hockey in Huntsville, and when he was like 10, he had a slap shot from a 10-year-old, hit him in the tip of his finger, and his finger's still short and fucked up. It shattered it like up to here. Just a slap shot from a 10-year-old. So you can imagine these guys.
Outdoors advice. Talk about Defiant 7.
Don't talk to me about Defiant 7. I'm totally uneducated.
Pull them up, John.
I'm doing it right now. Goob.
We go get something to drink because I've heard of that name a couple of times.
I'm going to their Instagram first because I like to see how they present themselves. Then we'll go to their site.
Don't get too deep.
I'm not.
If I can get up.
All right, I'm going to Google.
Or go to USA Made Blade, they carry them.
Oh, I know that they carry them. I want to find their site and find their social. Defiant 7. Google lets me misspell stuff. All right, they got a big website here. All right, I'm about to share it, guys. I haven't forgotten y'all. I'm just looking for click to their socials. Here we go. Nope. Yep, there we go. All right.
I just can't get into their designs, but I know I've heard they make good stuff.
I know nothing about them. So they're USA made, I assume.
If I'm not mistaken, they are Les George Designs and who's the other person behind it?
It's two guys. It's
Oh, it's a FUD. I see a revolver. Les George and Chad Nichols.
Les George. Well, they got a lot of knives about. Let me see. Oh. Les George started making knives. Chad and Les, yeah.
I don't want to pay for it, guys, but I do really want one of those EOD knives that Greg Medford re-released.
Did we want to look at fixers or fixies or folders?
I really don't care about folders all that much.
They look very Georgie. I like this one. For some
all
reason.
Les George folders look the same to me.
Yeah,
that looks interesting. Button lock.
Looks like they forgot to grind that crown off the spine.
But maybe you know when I hold knives that have a spine like that, they seem like they're more positioned for piercing than for because it gives you that.
Like a thumb round.
What's 5-door? What's anybody saying about? I asked them about the CX at Blade, Texas, and got a blank stare. Interesting. Let's go.
They're working with some younger up and coming.
Now the Talos, I had a Les George Talos that I got from one of his imports, and it was a CTS. Designed, manufactured, and built in the great state of Mississippi.
Yeah, I knew that they're.
How much are
they? 4, 385, 4.
I thought we've been told for 5 years that you can't make knives in the United States.
285. Let's see if this is.
But they said you can't do that. They've told us over and over.
They? You said you could do that.
No, I'm talking about Lefty and Neves and everybody else said that you can't make folders in the United States.
We don't judge ourselves by everybody else. You said that we should do it. So this is a customized in-house USA-made blade. So this is a USA-made blade collab. Put a skull pattern on it. Magna cut. What's the aluminum handle?
I know what they did, John. They invested their time and money into doing it themselves.
Correct. That's what it looks like. They also did it in Mississippi, where they're probably getting tax breaks. Again, the great state of Mississippi is probably helping them out, keeping their cost of production a little bit down.
So they didn't try to find somebody else to do it cheap, where they can make a bunch of money off of it and do nothing.
Yeah, it looks like they're working for it. It looks like the high-end ones with the Chad Nichols Damascus. Now these 435 ones have the Chad Nichols Damascus.
And that's dirt cheap for a handmade folder in Chad Nichols Damascus.
I wonder if it's handmade or if it's machine. I'm sure it's
that's Hinder price range, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hinder is $4.25. You're exactly right. But these are, I guess, button locks.
Is there something cheap about them? Is there a?
It's aluminum.
Okay, they're aluminum handles instead of titanium.
And what's our blade steel? Magna cut, yeah. But they look like they're all button locks. Let's go back to their website.
A lot of them are autos, John.
Oh, are they auto? Okay, that's. Well, this is a button lock manual.
Some of them are button locks, but a lot of them are autos.
Good night, Ryan.
Night, Ryan. Sorry I ran you off, Goob.
You didn't. His lovely wife called, and she's more important than we are.
I don't blame him. The Defiant looks pretty cool. 285. Les George designed. What's that going to say? Magna cut. Drop point.
I just always disliked that Les George thumb round.
Again, it's not designed really to be a flat cutter. It's designed to be a plunger. All TKLs or most TKLs, the Agent series, have a very pronounced upward ramp, which doesn't feel good cutting cardboard, but it feels good stabbing it through cardboard. But that's an auto there, an aluminum auto. So have they been doing this for a while? I'm just not familiar with it.
Yeah, a couple of years.
Do you know the knife I'm talking about, though? The Medford Marine EOD knife?
Yeah.
I mean, this price is shit.
Medford Marine?
The Medford Marine EOD knife. I don't know why I want one. I'd never have any use for it.
Because cool knives are cool, and that's a cool knife. That's like
It's such a badass knife, dude.
So what would you say besides looking at it and thinking it's cool?
Throw up on yourself?
No, I just belched. He even admits that the saw on the back of the spine, it doesn't work very well. He said it on his videos. I know we can redesign those saw teeth so they do a better job, but
so what's the deal with the hole?
no idea.
I didn't mean to put it in my cart.
it's yours now. Hit proceed to checkout.
Go ahead and buy that for Shane.
Yeah, just go ahead and get that from me.
Well, I'm trying to understand it. I mean, I know I like
the knife was actually made for digging up IEDs.
1 pound, 3 ounces.
So what the hole is for, I have no idea.
Again, it gives you that aggressive thumb ramp.
Yeah.
Looks like it's got a little claw at the back too.
But it's more for digging than it is cutting.
Yeah, it looks very pry barish.
Yeah, it is very pry barish.
10 1/4 inches, CPM 3V. Yeah, that's a cool knife. I'll agree with you there.
Yeah.
I saw a Hinderer brought back that little. No, I'm sorry, they didn't. It was an Emmett with a different blade shape.
Looks gray to me without the R. Nobody asked you, Paul Mills.
Ooh, I like the Micro Tanto.
But I get it. I understand why most people would look at that knife and think it's stupid. But I love it. I also know it's good for nothing.
Well, you like stuff based on design. When I watched you run to that Freeman and not be able to get it out of your head, I knew. Look at this little guy, man. That's not even 5 inches long.
Which knife was that one?
This is the Pro Micro Tanto.
No, the one that you're talking about that Shane got. Which one?
Freeman. Didn't you get a Freeman fixie, Shane?
Yeah, I got it right here.
But you talked about it for, look, a thug.
What steel is that in?
What steel's it in?
Yeah.
I don't know, John. Put me on full screen. Let's see what we can find.
It's hard for me to see it, dude. I get a headache every time I try to squint. Let me put you on full screen.
The joke's on you because this one's in the black. It is actually a little hard to see. But it says MagnaCut.
Especially because you're lighting.
Hey, your knife, this will answer a question. I've had people comment on this knife.
What brand is that again?
It's Freeman. It says so on the other side. It is cool that he put it in the black, in the
Fuller. I think it's very cool.
Probably labeled, but it does hide it some.
So I'm holding a little Concept Tiny Dancer. The only thing it has in common is it has that vertical grind pattern. I get more people comment on my posts, on my shorts, that blade's not functional. It's just going to collect stuff. What do you think about the vertical grind?
What are you talking about? This?
Yeah, instead of it being horizontal.
I don't give a shit if it's functional or not. I love it.
Well, I know that, but like this knife here, this is a concept that's done similarly. What's the advantage of that? They also make it with the smooth flat blade.
Advantage to it. It probably doesn't help anything.
But it doesn't. Do you think it would hurt anything?
I mean, I'm sure there's some cutting situations where it may cause extra friction and make it.
Yeah, it fill up a cheese if you're trying to cut a cheese with it.
Yeah.
So you think they do it just because it looks cool, because they can?
That's the only reason I bought it.
Yeah, but the best part was watching you try to talk yourself in and out of it for 24 straight hours while I was ribbing with you.
And you see me sneaking up your driveway with my AR, this will be mounted to my chest rig right here.
After we got back to the room and started watching Steel Toe, you were still talking about it.
Yeah.
Before I fell asleep.
I'm not worried about you getting up my driveway.
It's not something I'll ever need, but it does provide me with some inspiration. You know what I mean?
So yeah.
I'll never be able to do that without a CNC, but
you say never. Dude, if you've come this far in a year, think where you'll be in another year.
I'm not. I don't.
You don't have to think, but I'm just saying I know where you're going to be in another year. You're going to be a lot further than you got in 1 year. That is a cool looking
I only
thing.
want to maintain what I have going on right now.
The only thing that I would rather have, Paul, is full grip.
And just level out from right here and do the same amount of business I'm doing, but the product just keeps getting better and better. I'll be happy. I'm never going to, I say never. I can't foresee me ever getting big for several reasons, but one mostly because I don't want to.
Well, but big's relative to what you feel is manageable, right?
So I'm big now compared to where I plan to be and how
exactly. So as your processes get better, as you get more comfortable, as you figure out ways to increase what you can do, you're going to get bigger.
Cliff, it's hard to sneak up a driveway when you got to sit down and take a break.
Hey, I've walked with Shane. He's not being sarcastic.
Huh?
I said, I've walked with Shane. You're not being sarcastic. You do have to sit down and take a break.
Yeah.
Fast forward 18 months, we're going to have to change the Edge American logo to a woman from a trucker flap over top of a red and yellow Chinese flag to sell right out.
Shane's going to be a marketing company. I was over at A to Z today, Shane.
I didn't tell you, John, the results of all my heart stuff.
No, you haven't told me anything about that.
So I go the 3rd.
Or me.
I go the 3rd of September, like Wednesday, for a heart cath. And they're hoping they can fix it with a stent. But you remember me telling you when I got that last stent that I woke up feeling like $100, like better than I had in years?
Yep.
That same part, that same issue, that muscle's still not getting blood, and it's actually way worse than it was beforehand.
So when you said that you thought it was,
no.
Oh.
You haven't said a word about that.
It was heart related. I'm actually in worse shape than I was back in January.
But how much better will it feel to get a fresh stent?
That's what I'm saying. If they fix it this time, that could be game changing.
They will fix it this time. That's going to be huge. You go the 3rd?
Yeah, Wednesday. I'll be there all night. I stay the night.
Dude, that's going to go smooth. I hope you're not worried about that. That'll be a smooth.
Oh, I'm not, dude. They've run that camera at me several times. But they don't wake you up and say, hey, this is what we found, so we're going to do this.
No, you just wake up with a stent or without one.
I wake up with my chest cracked open.
That's a different game changer.
That's going to be a bad day, dude.
I better learn to grind knives quick.
Yeah, that's going to be a bad day. Well, no, I mean, I can recover from it again just because I know more this time. But God, I don't want to. But I don't think that's the case.
We level on up.
I'm pretty sure they're going to be able to stent it.
Are you going to Birmingham?
When they stent those when those arteries close, it's just a little bitty short piece. They can just keep stacking those things. They may have to stent the whole damn thing before.
Aren't they little mesh straws, kind of like?
Yeah, it's just to hold the vessel open.
Are you going to Birmingham?
Yeah.
You know, my little brother, there's a good chance that my little brother will be running the camera. He works for the Israeli company that makes all those mapping machines. He's got a PhD, but it's in electrocardiophysiology. So he's in the operating room.
That's what Iggy does too.
Yeah, looks at a computer screen.
She's in the operating room monitoring something when they're doing heart casts. I wish Iggy was there. But
that would set your mind at ease, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, if you see a little angry dude that looks like me without a beard, you better look out.
Last time I remember, I didn't see anybody. Like there's a couple of young guys getting me ready, and he was like, "Here comes the fentanyl." Then I woke up feeling great. I didn't remember any of it.
Apparently, they didn't spread the brains out across those genes very well.
You think?
No, they didn't. It was a total. Well, what's interesting is that wonder how much of it's application, because we were both tested, because my next door neighbor was a child psychologist, but we were both tested. Our IQs were tested throughout our lives. I've had like 3 IQ tests. My last is when I had my ADHD test. But my little brother scores considerably lower, but he was 5 years younger than me. And I was a bad big brother where I'd always beat him in video games, beat him in sports, do stuff, never let him win. And so he learned early on that what he could beat me at is grades, and he'd get a lot of positive praise where I'd get punished. And you know, that little bastard never in his life made a B. And he went and graduated from Duke in the biomedical engineering degree. Never made a B.
You also lost a lot of brain cells following the dead.
What's that?
You lost a lot of brain cells traveling following the dead too.
True. And just not taking school seriously. You know, he took it as like most people should. This is just a great opportunity for me to continue. Plus, I do have a Nazi grandfather who's a rocket scientist. So I've got some genes that are pretty strong if I would use them. They just led me down the wrong path. They rocketed me towards destruction. I burned on the pad.
I mean, John, my grandson's a lot the same. You know, he tested as a genius, but whether or not he'll ever actually be able to truly apply himself, we don't know. Because it's not quite as bad as you, but I mean, his brain, his mind never slows down.
Does he get treatment for that?
He's not on medicine.
Dude, I pay for it out of my pocket. And
they're trying their damnedest to avoid medicine at all costs.
Especially
I know,
a child.
but I'm telling you, growing up with that disability and having to learn to rewire yourself to exist, because anxiety is a big part of it. So that's part of the reason I think I took so much comfort in drinking and drugs, because it gave me kind of like, took that inhibition away, or that social anxiety. But it's tough. I think if I'd have been treated younger, I'm not blaming my situation on that, but I think it could have been a lot better for me. I think I could have applied myself more. Maybe not.
Damn it, Jeffrey.
That's great, Jeffrey. That's the comment of the night. I swear to God, I'm going to rename this stream. If I could copy that comment, I would name this stream that, because I never have good names for my live streams. What I need to do is start taking the funniest comment and using that to the title of my stream. Level on up. You know what's worse for you in terms of addiction than pizza? It's like tenfold.
Mexican.
There's something very unusual going on at Taco Bell. Something you wouldn't expect. We're making pizza. Mexican pizza. It's like...
Actually, that's not true. Fentanyl's not bad for you. And Paul Mills probably needs a daily dose. If he could get just enough for it to do what it's supposed to do, it'd probably be life-changing for that dude.
I'll tell you.
That dude is in constant pain. The problem is everybody's abused the shit until we've villainized it.
It's hard to get it prescribed.
When it's actually the very best substance in the world at what it's made to do.
It does not damage your now it's fatal if you take too much, but if you take it as prescribed, it doesn't have a lot of the side effects that other synthetic narcotics do. You know what one of the safest is? And everybody hates me, but I've read an essay on this and did a little research independently, but heroin is an extremely safe substance if you're not using it on the street with dirty, and I'm not for needle exchanges. I'm not saying that, because if I was a heroin addict, I would smoke it. That's just me.
Or not at all.
No, oh, yeah. And I would never, and I knew that's the one drug, that and crack, that I put a boundary on. I would never cross that bridge. I never would go there. So I know and now that I've recovered from a major pill addiction over a decade ago, I'll never go back to that.
Just remember,
I have no doubt.
That 90s PSA, crack is whack.
Yeah.
I hear it is.
That come from Whitney Houston.
Yeah.
She should have learned. She should have learned that.
No, she said it.
She said it on Barbara Walters' special.
Yeah.
No, but there was a PSA drug before that.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Crack is whack. Just say no, Nancy Reagan.
There's that one too.
Good old
Nancy. I like the brain frying in the egg pan.
Yeah.
This is your brain. You know, and I was talking to my buddy A to Z.
Never sizzled and smelled like butter before.
I was talking to my buddy A to Z today, and we were talking about parents and how they treat their kids with substances now. You know, how they, especially if the parents are liberal and do that kind of stuff. And I asked A to Z how him and his dad's relationship about stuff like that was. And he said, you know, his dad, like my mom and my dad, were raised in the 50s, I guess, when all that reefer madness propaganda was out there. And that really stuck with those kids. I mean, that was an effective campaign. I mean, granted, it didn't work for everybody, but like a lot of people thought that if you smoked, you jump out windows.
Yep. Or murder your neighbors with an axe. Yeah.
And have no control over what you're doing.
I did eat some gummies one night and had to crawl to the bathroom.
Well, and again, that's true.
I had to hop my leg like a dog to pee.
It's
always, it's not like they're not just like taking a vitamin, so you can't sit there and say, oh, there's no effect. Of course there is.
Well,
there is. Sure, and everybody's going to be affected differently.
And that's why fentanyl is so good at what it does. That's what makes it so easy to abuse. The more you take, the more benefits you get.
But what is it? Does it have a short?
I never abused my Percocets, but I've told this before. It seemed like once a month there'd be that one special one in the bottle that I'd take it just like I was supposed to on time. And about 15 minutes later, I'd be like, oh, now I get it. I know why people would eat 5 of these.
Because I mean, to me,
every now and then you run across that special one, and dude, it just the whole world is a better place.
That was one of the best stand-up specials ever.
Easily the most quotable special. Yeah.
Which one's that?
I'm not sure which one he's talking
Chris
about.
Rock. Was that Blacker Than Ever? What was I remember the special name on that one.
What I need to go back and watch is the Chris Rock that he did most recently, the year after the slapping incident. I watched a little short special on that about how that just exposed Hollywood for being elitist and how they can't believe Will. And because it wasn't a work. I mean, he really did go up there. When you watch it over and over, it looks like it could have been a work, but it wasn't. And Chris Rock waited a year, and evidently that special is one of his best specials where he goes back to his just really ruthless roots. And he talks about...
But he did for the first 50 minutes.
Right. Have you seen it, Shane?
Yeah. And then he said his piece and he moved on.
Was it good?
Yeah.
I love the part he said about your wife slept with your son's best friend, and why do we know? Because she fucking interviewed you about it on national TV.
Yeah.
I mean, he just basically put Will in his place.
Oh, he did. One of the few people that ever get embarrassed in public and come out on top.
Well, and that's what they said. The people that were doing the little clip thing about it was, this is a guy who thought and should have been, and is part of the Hollywood elite, who's on the biggest stage of his life, hosting the Oscars. And you've got all these other Oscars and producers, and they showed, I didn't realize this at the time, but Denzel Washington, Bradley Cooper, and all these other people ran up to Will Smith afterwards, checking on him. And the whole time, Chris Rock's just standing there on stage. No producer, nobody came out and, checked on him, see if he was okay. He had to do the rest of the show and then watch Will get an award, get a standing ovation. Yeah. And what's going on here? I just had myself humiliated in front of the biggest audience I've ever been in front of. And Chris Rock, they said, has won that because they even showed a graph that shows how much Will Smith's worked since then. Now, Will Smith has more money, but Chris Rock is definitely on an up roll where Will Smith, what was the last thing he was in?
Record breaking.
Yeah, Will Smith's not doing much right now. He's kind of been...
It just upset me. He only did it because it was Chris Rock. Had Dave Chappelle told that joke, he wouldn't have walked up there. And had he walked up there, Dave Chappelle would have choked him to sleep.
Oh, yeah.
Seconds.
Absolutely. Dave Chappelle's a jiu-jitsu guy, isn't he?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Dave Chappelle's a
Dave's also not small. People think he's skinny and small. He's not a small dude.
He used to be.
No. He used to be skinny, but he's still tall. He's not a small dude.
Yeah, he's stacked some muscle on you. He don't show it off, but if he moves just right, you'll see his shirt sleeve get a little tight every now and then. Dave's put some muscle.
He's definitely doing the same stuff that Joe Rogan and those guys are, peptides and whatever that stuff is that keeps you jacked, testosterone.
Hey, Richard, I sent you a message when you get a chance to take a look.
Will Smith's AI concert. No, I think I'm going to pass on that load on up. I say that's the best way for you to make up your mind. That's the best way for you to make up your mind whose side you're on, or who was right and who's wrong. You just don't, you just don't have to support those people anymore. And I hate that because I loved Will Smith's movies, most of them.
My favorite thing about Will Smith was Eminem's fucking line about Will Smith don't got cussing his raps to sell records, but I do, so fuck him and fuck you too.
Absolutely.
That was so good.
Yeah.
So good.
I don't care for that little dude that much either, but
he was always corny.
Slim Shady?
No. Well, no,
Will?
I'm talking about Will.
Yeah.
I have zero respect for.
He's kind of like an industry plant, what they call an industry plant today. Yeah, but I guess he had some funny material. I guess he had some funny stand up in his day. I just didn't find him funny, and I didn't like the show.
He was good for like his acting, his little gigs, and that kind of stuff, and his movies. But he was never good in music. He was never good at like the other side. But he was always corny. But Eminem, no. Early Eminem was okay, but yeah,
he got real political. When he got real political,
he's a complete
lost
tool.
Me.
Yeah. I mean, he's still phenomenal as far as, talent wise, but I could give two shits.
But I don't have to agree with
check your IG.
Politics to like them. It's just when they push it.
Agreed.
Just like I'm a huge Rage Against the Machine fan. I'll stand there and scream "Killing in the Name of," even though I don't agree with the lyrics. I think it's a badass song. The lyrics are partially true. To what extent, that's up for you to decide. But Zach De La Rocha never put it out there like I had to choose or not listen to his music. You know what I mean? Because now everybody's at a point where, it's you got to pick. And if you don't pick my side, then fuck you. I don't, kind of like that guy that makes knives in Omaha. What's that dude's name?
There's somebody that make knives in Omaha.
That dude that says if you believe in any religion, you're a fucking idiot. And fuck you.
Are you talking about
that guy?
Okay.
Yeah. Kind of like that. Which is those are the stupidest human beings that have ever walked the face of the earth.
But I'm going to play devil's advocate.
You know how soft you have to be to give a shit how other people believe to a point that you don't even want them to buy your product.
No, it's worse than that, unfortunately.
That is the biggest sign of weakness that a human being can display. Is to care that greatly about what you believe outside of your relationship with a person. It has nothing to do with your relationship with a person.
But you let it interject and affect that relationship. But what you got is kind of like what I said earlier tonight. Stupid people don't know they're stupid.
You're right. They just like dead people, ain't they?
They're real quiet. They don't know they're dead. I mean, it's just one of those things, it's unfortunate. And there's some people I'm convinced that are committed. And I guess for some people, you can say, I respect the fact that they'll risk it all for their beliefs, regardless of what their beliefs are, but they're not going to change. I don't think
it has nothing to do with their beliefs because they don't stand for anything. It has to do with their disdain for you and your beliefs.
Yeah, the anger.
That's what's stupid.
It seems very rooted in anger and victimization.
It absolutely is.
And victimization.
The only route you can take to getting there is the victim route. That's the only thing in life that can cause you to get to that point. Is the trauma of whatever you're a victim of. Nothing else can create that situation because there's no logical reason to care.
And again, I don't excuse it, but if you look at brother, I've been around him night and day. I don't know which one's older, but childhood trauma is a real thing.
We say that, but maybe he's just normal. And is good at, I don't even want to say is good at hiding his beliefs, but maybe he's just not.
No, I'm not saying his beliefs are different. I'm saying his tolerance of other people, and not assigning the belief to the human. Right. Not saying I don't like his beliefs, so fuck his knives and fuck him, and I hope his life's fucking shitty. Yeah. He deserves it to be because I'm so much more right than him. Yeah. He doesn't deserve to breathe oxygen. And that's just kind of a. What's nihilistic mean? Why is that word coming to my head? Probably doesn't mean anything that goes in that sentence. Anywho, yeah, there are people out there that are like that. And I forgot who I was talking to, but about 98% of the people in chat, maybe 90% of people in chat, 98% of knife makers are just kind, good humans, right? And then there's always going to be that small percentage that, like other people, have that issue.
That's with anything. That's with any group or any.
Exactly. Exactly. And some people need it, and it's unfortunate that they've got unresolved stuff that they're dealing with. We all do at some level, but if it's affecting your relationships or your business, but you don't look inward because I hate to use the word stupid, but it fits. You're too stupid to realize that you're costing yourself. It's just, to me, it just doesn't make sense. I don't understand it, so I avoid it.
Yeah, I mean, and if it was just rejection of religion, anybody can choose to reject the idea of religion, and I don't care. That's their, no pun intended, but that's their cross to bear.
Yeah,
but
that's awesome.
When you start treating people poorly because of it, that is the dictionary definition of bigot.
Thank you for putting it in context, Jeffrey. That's the way my brain needs it. I need it shown in a sentence.
Yeah.
I think, and I never talk religion, politics, or sports, but we've done all. So I'm going to say that, to me, religion has been, and it's not organized, but it saved my life, kind of finding a connection with my higher power. So I think it's good to not think of all we've got is taxes and struggle, and whether it's fan fiction or not, I choose to kind of dive into it. Not enough to get me up on Sunday. Don't get it twisted.
Right.
But I've got a personal relationship with my the one I believe in.
Yeah.
Shane, did you like the Instagram picture I showed you of the sperm?
Yeah.
Did you get it?
Actually, I thought Kyle sent that.
No, Kyle didn't laugh at it either.
Sense. That made much more sense coming from Kyle.
5-door, you nailed on the head, but there was 5, 6.5. And I do count the half. A lot of people say that's petty, but that was to my top of my scalp, not my hair. I'm 5'7" if you count my hair.
Yeah. Sorry, I was replying to comments. No, I didn't see the.
You didn't see his first comment?
No, I didn't see your meme you were talking about.
That was 5-door's first. And then second, he wrote it only to save Kyle the effort of typing it.
What comments you replying in? Because you're not in our comments.
No,
I'm showing them on the board. I said earlier. Never mind. It's lost its meaning because I've forgotten it.
I was talking about. I didn't see the meme that you guys wrote. That's why I'm replying to other people. I talked to other people besides the two of you.
I got you. But
it's in our Instagram group chat.
You agree with me though that meme more aligns with your sense of humor than Javon's?
I didn't even see it. That's why I said
I'm going to share it. But if I affect anybody,
no, don't share it, dude.
No, I won't, because it's got an undertone.
Yeah, don't share it.
But Shane,
I'll look it up later.
Yeah, look, it's in our group, the one that you, Ryan, and Shane and I are in.
There's two of them because you guys can't figure out.
It's weird. There are several in there, and I always feel like one of them's got one of y'all left out.
I just started posting everything in both that way because I think one of them I'm in a group with Ryan and John, and the other one is Ryan, John, and Kyle.
But they both have all three of us. They just show the first two names because I was doing that for the longest time.
No, they're not both because when I sent my StreamYard invitation one Sunday, Kyle didn't get it. And
That's right. Could you send it to his other one? That's right. I remember that.
There's one of them that Kyle, for some reason, is not in, and I'm not sure which one.
I am now because I got added.
Okay. That makes more sense. 5-door, I'm about 4'9". I'm shrinking because of arthritis. I guess more.
Hey, I've never. That's one thing, and again, I did see
something about arthritis that really blew my mind when I was a kid. I had an algebra teacher that had arthritis, and I used to mow her grass. She had beehives, and I was really curious about because they were just.
Don't show those, buddy.
I'm not. I'm just looking for
The beehives were a nuisance to me because I had to mow the grass, And I asked her one time, I was like, why you raise those bees? And I assumed the answer was going to be she sold honey, but she didn't. She had the beehives for her arthritis. Her hands would get like locked up on her, and she would go out there and mess with that beehive with her hands, and those bees would sting her. And I was like, don't that hurt? She's like, no, the arthritis hurts so bad I can't feel it. She's like, but after they sting me, about within 2 or 3 minutes, the pain starts to subside and I can move my hands again.
What kind of venom?
Just honeybees.
Honeybees? I didn't know if you said bees or wasps. I got a question for y'all that came into my DMs from our brother Dane across the pond who makes mule handles.
Yeah.
He's got a resilience. What do y'all know about resiliences?
They're 4-inch blades, huge. And
Well,
it's made in cheap
the clip
steel.
hardware is different than everything else he's been able to find. He was asking me because he says PM2, Manix 2 clip hardware doesn't work. He's missing a screw. I'm trying to find him some hardware, but I don't know. Maybe I could go to Etsy, but he says he's searched everywhere. And I don't know. Does Spyderco or does their other brand make the resilience? Is that one of their inexpensive lines?
It's one of their inexpensive ones, but it's not. It's not a bird. It's an actual Spyderco. It's the same line that like the Tenacious is.
Because it's FRN, so
right, and it's like 8CR or VG10.
Resilience in K390.
I don't think so.
I wonder what makes the screws different. Usually screws are pretty for on Spyderco.
Maybe I don't.
One's Chinese hardware, one's US hardware.
Yeah, I'll just search for them. If anybody knows, what's up,
Terry?
Terry?
Yeah, she swore, Terry, she swore by it like she couldn't get through life without it. She would let those bees sting her hands. It helped with her arthritis.
Richard, that means you're comfortable on airplanes too.
I knew another old man, this sounds even crazier, and maybe it was just a placebo effect, but he sprayed his hands 4 or 5 times a day with WD-40 and swore that it gave him some pain relief and gave him mobility back in his hands. And then I actually watched a doctor talk about it on YouTube and say that it is possible that it could soak in and lubricate the joints.
What's his name? Tin Man?
Temporarily. No, he was a mechanic. He was the one that told me I better start taking fish oils when I was young or I was going to end up with arthritis. Of course, I did listen, and here I am. My hands are beat off shit.
Well, if you think about it, back in Oz, when Tin Man got arthritis in the field, they had a little oil, and that worked for him.
Yeah. I'd rather drive 32 hours a week around an airplane. I don't blame you.
But at 4'9", because at 5'6", I don't feel cramped, even if I'm in a middle seat.
Of course you don't.
John, I don't think your feet touch the floor in an airplane.
Well, Richard's 4'9", he says.
Your little legs are just dangling.
I saw a great video.
Keep in mind now, Kyle, if you're making fun of John, then you're double making fun of Richard if he's 4'9".
No, Richard's okay.
How tall is Dylan?
Richard's about 5 feet, 5'2".
Shane, I'm not making fun of Richard. Richard can stand it the whole entire time and be okay.
Oh. Yeah. It's not Dylan's height that throws me off. I know plenty of short people. I would rather be a short people, in all honesty. There's cars I can't enjoy because I'm too damn big. But it's when I shake Dylan's hand, it is the most unnatural feeling thing I've ever experienced.
It's like a doll hand. See, I've got normal size hands.
A porcelain doll, you're like, oh, what I do with this?
And Dylan's got that perma smile, that kind of perma grin. He's a lovable. I mean, he could be a great cartoon character, or the new animation. He'd make a good cartoon character.
Here's another thing, Richard. When you're 100 and I'm dead, long gone dead, it's because you're 4'9" and I'm 6'3". Big people don't live as long.
I've been reading some scientific information that women, by a large margin, do not and will not stay or be attracted to people shorter than them, men. And it's all biological because
this goes all the way back to caveman days. They were looking for big and strong, somebody that could protect.
Well, it's protection. I mean, that's nothing new.
But that doesn't apply anymore.
Well, what if little guys got an extended clip?
All men had to work hard and hunt hard, so the bigger guy was going to be more protective. But nowadays, you've got people like You know, Conor McGregor, when he walked around at 145, was the baddest man on the planet, probably. I know he's
Scott ASOBX.
run his reputation since, but little people just look better than tall people. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, you can't find gyms.
Boys section.
Yeah, just because we don't fit in the Oshkosh Bagosh and you still do, Scooter.
Todd, how's she doing, buddy?
Gosh, man, that
Thinking about you, bud.
Yeah, thinking about you, buddy.
Dude, because I know my days are getting numbered. My mom's about to be evicted, and it's gonna be a rough couple of months, man.
Dude, I'm telling you, old age is not for pussies. I deal with my dad a couple times a day, and we don't even live, hang in there, buddy. We don't even live a quarter mile apart. But his dementia is getting so bad. I mean, he's convinced now that he's had 2 cars stolen, not just one. He's convinced that he's got cases he's got to get to. He's got a lady that comes by there from 10 to 1 just to make sure he gets lunch when I can't be there to check on him and do stuff like that. And she drives him to run errands, but she'll take him to where he used to practice law 30 years ago. And he'll go in there and talk to the girls. They still remember him and they'll humor him. And he's trying to get information for cases that are running around in his mind.
Yeah.
And my mom is still active. She plays tennis several times a week, but I can tell, I mean, life's just a journey. You know, they say if you wait for this or that to make you happy, you're always going to be waiting. You just got to make the best of moments and know that it's going to be hard.
I would never tell my children this. I lived my whole life extremely irresponsible. I did not plan for the future. And even at my age right now, being in the financial situation I'm in, I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world, man. I made every minute of my youth and my vitality. I sucked it dry for everything it was worth, and I don't regret it a bit.
It's quality of life versus quantity of life.
Down the lowest budget nursing home on the planet, barely getting by to the day I die. It was worth it, man. I've had way more fun than I ever deserved, no doubt.
Those nurses better have watermelon lip gloss.
They better. That's all.
Well, I've watched several people. My dad's girlfriend was put in a home, and she lived right across the street from him about a month, 2 months before he started kind of going downhill a little more. But you can be healthy your whole life, do everything right, and your brain, because of all the shit, I don't know if it's diet, I don't know if it's just people are living longer, but if you have ever tried to find a mental care facility and you see how limited the space is, and they tell you at those places what the numbers are for, you know, people like Bruce Willis, who just got put in a home last week, separated from his family. I mean, you get to a point where there's no self-care. They can't self-medicate. I mean, I have to go to my dad's twice a day and make sure he takes his medicine that's in a little saucer that's controlled by a computer that beeps at 8:30. He can go down there at 11 when he wakes up, and it's beeping, and all he has to do is dump him out and take him. He'll dump them out, and they'll just be laying beside the thing lined up, and they'll say, yeah, I got 3 big ones, and I got 6 little ones. I was like, Dad, you've got to take those. But he's like, my brother explained it best. It's like an Etch-a-Sketch that once the picture's there and you tell somebody something, it's just like shaking the Etch-a-Sketch. They don't remember it 2 minutes later.
5-door, I got your kitchen knife lasered today. I had a little bit of a setback again. My laser guy, I don't know if I've even told this story, but Kyle knows it, but ended up taking my knives and like ghosted me for 2 weeks. Not yours, but some other knives I had. Anyway,
I see 29.
He's become undependable.
Scotty.
So, but I've got a new laser guy, and all I wanted was somebody to replace that dude with. But this dude's laser work is actually
Cleaner.
Way cleaner. The lines are very crisp, and yeah.
Richard, clean. You guys have figured it out, because everything that I hear people talk about when they're at that place is material items aren't anything like memories. and y'all's making memories, literally, not just in your title, but those are things that are invaluable.
Have I even shown this? 5 doors recurve thug.
Somehow Ryan was doing a multicast stream, so he was streaming the same live, and then I think he went to bed, so his stream's still running. There were 4 people in his live.
Oh, and who's live?
Ryan's.
Oh, Ryan was streaming. I got it.
No, he's streaming this. Like it was
right. Because
like
I give the option when you guys log in, you can stream to your own channel if you want to. So if you don't want to be on Javon's Night Flicks with your comments, you can be live on Friday Night Flicks on Edgy American Blades. That's one of the checks. Yeah, that's one of the checks you choose. Lefty and I used to do that when we did Off the Edge.
Yeah, but the bad thing is, so if you're in one channel,
it splits the chat.
You can't see what other people are saying.
Yeah, so it's not optimal, but goes back to changes that might be coming. I'm thinking about doing one vertical live a week.
This and your chef's knife is headed to Kyle Monday. I think Kyle's already sharpened this, but they both got to go to him before they come to you. So,
but how many of y'all would hate that Tuesday night verticals? Not that I'm not going to do it.
John, don't ask.
Well, I don't like to surprise people
that passionately hate it, but I feel like everybody that's in here is your friend, and if they realize that it helps you with what you do, they can tolerate it. It'll be all right.
It makes for some reason the 2 times I've gone vertical was probably 20 times more ad revenue than a 4-hour long or wide form stream. And it's not because people don't engage as much. It's just because it brings so many people in. And then like Shane will tell you, people watch them afterwards. Yeah. What's your one that had 17,000 up to now? 60?
I ain't even looked. I don't know if I've got YouTube Studio on this phone yet.
You don't have to look, but I guarantee you it's continued to grow. I mean, because they keep them in those Reels feed. And I get a lot of grief from other creators. But that's kind of my secret. I've always done shorts. I do 9 a day. And I get so much reach. I reach so many more people than I would with long form videos. And some of those people watch my long form videos. Most people get a lot more views on long form videos than I do.
It's still
it hasn't got any more views, John. It's still at 17,000.
Yeah.
That's interesting because that means in 24 hours, and usually probably during your live, that many people came in and went out while you were grinding knives.
Right.
Well, I was there. There was at one point I saw like 164 people live there.
Yeah, Shane had well over 100.
Yeah, my Sunday night live streams, I have 40.
Because they're wide.
Right.
And they don't get pushed out. So people that don't have, and I don't say it in my videos, but I always preach it on my lives. The reason the bell's so important is when a video is released, like I'll launch them at 11 now because I think my YouTube Studio tells me that's when most of my viewers are online. The people that watch it the first 45 minutes, and if they like it or comment, somehow that determines if YouTube opens the gate to the next group of people to see if they like it. That's why thumbnails are so important, and people either make a question or make clickbaity thumbnail.
Yeah, but the bell doesn't work for shit because I know there are some people that I've subscribed to, and I'll get a notification from it, and I look, and it was something they posted like 3 days ago that I've already watched.
Work. I'll agree with you there. It doesn't work worth a dang. But it's just weird. There's another thing, and I haven't seen it because I haven't watched any videos, but I got an email about it, and it's in my YouTube Studio. Has anybody here watched a video and on the video seen a hype button, HYPE, that you can click? It. I don't think it's by the like. I think it shows up in the video. But it's a button that if you click hype on, it somehow, let me share it with you. Fuck, why am I talking about it? I don't want to paraphrase it. I know it's boring, but I'm asking for hype help. Doesn't cost a penny.
I don't know. I get weirded out anytime people ask for anything.
I know. That's why you can plug your ears.
I don't. It don't bother me when people ask for things. All I'm saying is, if it helps somebody you know and you care for,
it's gone.
Let them do it.
It's gone. My little note's gone that talks about height.
And even if I wasn't vertical, it wouldn't help. My biggest issue when I'm live and grinding is I can't interact with the audience. But it didn't take me long to figure out that. And this does. I don't know if this is sound bad, but you guys aren't there for me. You guys are there because your other buddies are in the chat and y'all were shooting the shit.
We're there to watch you. We're there to watch you, but we are.
Y'all are all there waiting on the day that I get badly hurt. I
No,
know
it's there to help
to
chat. People want to chat, but they also it's to me it's soothing to watch people grind and listen to it. So this isn't telling me much.
I go there because Shane beats me if I'm not in his lives.
That is honestly when I need a mod the most. I've had some people drop some fucking bombs in there, boy.
The bad thing is you go live and I don't even know you're going live. You don't tell me.
I know. Yeah. And the other thing too is the more you interact with them, the more they do it. You're better off just ignoring it. They'll go away after a minute or so.
So
that's what the hot button was for.
Yeah, if you see a height, well, they say it's a little button down by the like. If you see a hype button, hype it. Just for shits and giggles, for an experiment. See what it does. Because YouTube's
the reason why I don't have a problem with people asking for things, like I don't even have a problem with people asking for super chats or memberships, because this one, I spent 40 years paying Comcast for mindless fucking brain rot with no interaction and no friendships attached. I don't mind throwing a few bones in on the entertainment I'm getting now.
I don't mind doing it, but it's a matter of I don't like to do it if I'm asked to do it. You know what I mean?
I get you.
Shane taught me that.
Do you consider people reminding you what the options are, asking you?
StreamYard, PayPal, Rumble Rants.
What? I'm sorry. What was that, Shane?
I said, do you consider people reminding the viewers of what their options are to support? Do you consider that asking them? Does that bother you?
If it's repetitive, yeah.
It bothers
me.
me.
That Jared's lives, I'd be like, hey guys, if you can't, if you want to support, but you don't have the money to super chat, use these Amazon links, blah blah blah.
I know. I used to as well too, but to me, it's like if you ask once or just say it once, it's cool. But like if you do it constantly over and over, then it's
When you start getting up borderline e-begging, it
right. Well, e-begging to me, if I need to do this more, and it's because it's proven that people's attention span is short. They watch a lot of content, and other content creators ask them to say, if you want to help the channel, you can use my beacons links. That'll take you to all the major retailers. It doesn't cost you any more. They're discount codes in some cases. I'd appreciate it. That's kind of reminding somebody. I don't think that's asking. It is asking in essence for help, but it's not asking for. There are different ways to do it, and I don't. Problem is you can't comment. You just press. But the hype's like a like and a comment, right? I don't know. I've never used one. I need to watch it and try it, Kathleen. I just know YouTube.
That's the reason I don't have channel memberships. If I was at a point where I could keep up enough to give away a knife a month, I think all giveaways should be the channel members. That's just
I did that because it was you and my buddy Ab, rest in peace, who made me think that it's only fair, because the only reason I ever did giveaways, it was like if we were all at Blade Show and I'd hand knives to people who, because that's what I do. So giveaways are kind of like that. I feel like the knife will find the right person. But, giving away 2 a week was tough, where I could just do channel member giveaways. And I don't promote those either. Everybody that's a channel member knows that's coming live.
I disagree with that. You should.
Well, I mean,
you're doing this for a different reason than I am, John. You are trying to subsidize your lack of an income with it. You should most certainly 1,000% promote that there's a channel member giveaway, or if it's going to be once a month, that's what you should be doing.
See, I don't think you're supposed to, though, because I think hear me out. I think YouTube if it's a channel member, it's like a paid auction. So if you do a giveaway on an open channel, it's
Click that
one thing.
box.
Yep.
I just don't have a problem with
Can you
that.
say something, Kyle?
I said, yeah, click that. Make sure you click that box.
We're not getting into that tonight.
I think personally, all giveaways should just go away because it brings out the worst in people. And
It does it in my channel member.
A knife to somebody that I feel like giving it to.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. I think that is better.
Let me tell you this: if it ever gets to a point where somebody's like, "Well, why would he give that person a knife and not me?" Then I'll be done with it altogether. Because it's not a popularity contest. Kathleen just happened to say the right thing at the right time, and I was like, "Well, you know what? Then you can have this knife."
I like to do nice things for people.
She got a better knife, but that's beside the point. I'd rather just, if I want to give away something, I'd rather just give it to whoever I want to give it to. But if I was going to do channel giveaway or channel memberships, that's what I would do all my giveaways through that.
Yeah, well, and that's what I've noticed in the channel member giveaways. I think the most people that have put the code word in are 23. And mostly it's like 16 people in there. Because I tell people they don't have to be present to win. Come in, leave the word.
They're a channel member.
Huh? No, they shouldn't.
It's a channel member giveaway. They shouldn't have to be present to win.
They don't. But I get probably 30% participation. And I've tried to put polls out on when's the best time to take it. But literally,
maybe they don't want that knife. That's fine.
Well, they never know what knife it is. And there's two knives because Richard has donated to me so many of these cool little antique store.
That probably falls back on the fact that you just said you're not promoting it.
Well, and I do put it in the member. I put it in a member post, but I don't put giveaway because I've always felt dirty.
People who aren't memberships people who aren't members need to know that there's a chance to win a knife if they are members. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, Bob DeMarco does it. You, by all means, you should.
But do they do it to channel members?
No, he does what he considers like open market giveaways too.
Right, and that's different.
The third Thursday of every month, he has a Gentleman Junkie giveaway. The only people that qualify are the people who have that $10 a month membership. There's nothing wrong with that.
That's another thing I felt guilty about, but lately I've thought about it, is naming channel members. To me, that seems like, everybody's got, what are the B's guys?
Huh?
Everybody calls their members something. They refer to them as, I'm trying to think of them.
That can be a bit corny. I don't know.
I think it's corny too.
Lasers.
Something like that. But I mean, it's one of those things. And to me, but everybody has the right to do it their way. What I'm thinking about doing though is a 24-hour stream, A, to see if I can do it, B, that I'm bored and do it just some random day, not say a word, just go live, vertical, and stay live and just have my scroll say.
There's no point in doing it guerrilla style.
Dude, it is, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to have
now, since you're going to do it, if that brings you 5 more viewers than somebody, you have to quit fighting this. I don't want to look like I'm trying to get viewers or subscribers, because you are. You wouldn't be doing this if you weren't. We all know you are.
Oh, I'm definitely trying to get them, but I don't think.
So promote it.
But there's a psychology to that. I don't think you have to promote something beforehand to have it promoted going across the scroll and talk about it during the live. So when people come in and engage with the live, I don't want people to come in because they think there's going to be a pitch, and it's not a pitch that there's going to be, but it's just.
John, if it's not dishonest, if it's not a scam, just promote it.
But you bring so many people in. I've seen it in other lives. I'm not into that.
I'm not just sitting here telling you this. I'm telling you this because me, several other channels, and several other of your friends all agree that you just need to embrace what you're trying to do. You already have a more successful channel numbers-wise than Tri-State does.
That's what I'm naming the live.
Embrace it and just do it, dude. None of us are going to be upset that you promoted it. None of us are going to be upset.
And it's not that I care what other people think. It's the way I feel doing it. For example, to me to make a thumbnail and put GAW on it, it makes me nauseous. So I've never done it.
Let's say you get that job with Ryan. Are you going to feel bad marketing yourself for that?
No.
Then why would you feel bad marketing yourself for this?
To me, it's different. I'm selling frets, brother.
Just think of this. You're like 10 times bigger than Mattisfaction.
Maddie gets a bigger audience. Maddie gets more views on his videos. Subs mean nothing in the big screen. Views,
Right.
and I get more view hours. So if you look at me,
you did something at some point in time to attract somebody's attention for them to hit the sub button, but then you didn't promote any of the reasons why they should hang around.
for the content, I do it for the content. And if they want, I look at it this way.
People don't really care that the content's not enough anymore.
Shane, you're exactly right. And I'm going to make a reference that's going to make you all sick.
Beast for the content. They watch to see who's going to win $10 million.
And to be in a chat room with their friends. I think that's a big part of it, is to foster a community, right?
There's
people
no community
that want to be
there.
around each other.
There's no community
to
there.
dribble.
It's
there
about
you go. One man's got a point. Promote that shit. Eat some fungus. Promote that you're going to eat some fungus and be live for 24 hours. People will tune in to watch that. Maybe they hang around. Maybe they don't. Just all I'm saying is you need to embrace it. There's nothing embarrassing about it. There's no moral issue to it. You've never crossed any lines other than the fact that you don't check that box, which is illegal as shit.
I know.
Past that, you run a legit channel, so just embrace it and promote what it is that you offer.
Kyle, what were you going to say, buddy?
I was just going to say there is no community there. It's just about going in there and bragging how many budget knives you bought this week and using affiliate links and giveaways. That's all that.
No, I'm talking about the community in the chat that comes.
I know. I'm talking about in the one that you're talking about. I'm not talking about.
No, you're talking about the 5 doors comment.
No, I'm talking about like bigger streams, like the one that's going on right now.
That's all about
giveaways.
Still live?
No, that's all about giveaways.
Oh, is that knees?
No.
Bees.
Oh, bees. Is he doing the September Kaiser knives? I've got some cool knives that I can show September 1st. And I showed you one tonight. But he always gets to sell. You know, B sells more Kaisers than anybody else.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah.
That's why I don't dislike bees anymore. I finally realized there was a difference in what I was doing and what Brian is doing. Brian's passionate about what he does. He brings a lot of new people into the community. Those people aren't going to listen to me. They were never going to come to me first.
But they'll find you one day, maybe, if they stick with.
Exactly. So I support what Brian's doing. I don't always agree with everything, but the man's passionate about what he does, and he tries to get the most out of the time he's investing in it, and so should you.
What I don't like is
that's a fact, Jack Scotty. He
open a box. Oh, look, here's a new knife. That's the greatest thing ever. You need to use my link. You've never even seen the knife. You just literally taken it out of the box.
But you know that at this point, Kyle. You know that's what you're
doing. It's disgusting.
I know.
But think of other that, and I'm gonna say that's marketing, advertising, because you think of other like ShamWow.
Because I was the same way with Scab. I used to think the world of Scab, and then I got to realize, Scab's promoting a bunch of stuff that I know is not very good. Then I realized Scab don't want to do what he's doing until he dies. He wants to be able to retire someday, be able to subsidize what little savings he's got. So I don't badmouth him for it, man. Do what you do.
All those Rosecraft links.
All these people are grown men. If they buy a shit knife just because you told them to, it's all right, man. They're.
I was as green as any green pea to get into the knife community. And when I first discovered knives and Metal Complex or Blade HQ's lives, I would never buy even a Pelican without going out. That's how I found a lot of channels. I would search YouTube, and it hadn't worked for me yet, but I try to build my videos to be searchable when people maybe are looking for a knife. But that nowadays is impossible because there's so much knife content out there.
And there's more coming.
Yeah, every day.
Are in that little chat group now?
Oh, dude. And some of them are killing.
Trying to build a channel.
Do you remember?
And here's the thing, John. Some of those guys are going to be more successful than you.
Oh, they already are.
Because they embraced it and they're promoting what they have to offer.
But what is success? To me, it's just not getting totally burned out. Because one day I'm not going to do this.
It's being able to put a door on your car.
Well, dude, that's
the first sign of success to me was being able to replace the door on my car.
That would be a sign of success, and then go for teeth. But I'm not looking for
or stop.
I'm not looking for. I'm talking about myself, but I'm not looking for it to be. I'm still looking to do work in my profession, which unfortunately is social media marketing. So, but you know why my channel grew, and I don't take credit for it. It's because you told me about shorts. And then I got an email from YouTube that just went out to everybody else talking about how shorts were they got more reach.
Yeah.
Todd, and I just found a sweet point.
Yeah.
But it doesn't translate to views. And I know why, because my content is not created to be inviting, good. Is that a recurve?
As somebody that considers you their brother, somebody that loves you, John, if somebody told me, hey, John's going to dump $100 a week into a YouTube channel, would you rather he make $5 or $5,000? I would rather you make $5,000.
I know, dude.
Nothing you're doing, and nothing about that is unethical.
No, but the trick to making money on YouTube, because I'm not going to be an e-beggar, is to have videos get in those 40, 50,000 view range. And people do it. What was Neve got to millions, but it just takes a couple of videos a year to make you sustainable. I haven't been able to tap into the right description, content style.
And you may never, or you may tomorrow.
It's a rarity. Yeah, I think it's like pulling a one-arm jack. Is that what you call slot machines?
Yeah.
Illuminati, what is up? Kyle, that blade looks all scuffed up, Five Door says.
It's all gunked up from a bunch of shit that the owner doesn't take care of.
That's not even my knife. Shut your mouth.
No, this one isn't yours. It's another customer's that I got to clean their shit for.
I'm going to show you guys a knife that you're going to laugh at. And I gave it a positive review. I think it's the knife that surprised me the most so far in a budget knife. This is called the CJRB Nanner.
I don't like that thing.
Dude, but I want you to hold it.
I believe it's good. You've had several knives that I hated that were actually good.
What's unique about this is the tip and this top of the handle are exactly the same level. See that?
That's it.
So when you put it in your hand and the jimping's right here.
I see it. I mean, it works great.
And it's $45. It's that AARPM 9. And they make it in other more muted colors. Yeah, it's funky looking.
And it's got a front flipper on it, so I hate it.
But you don't have to even know it's there if you didn't look for it. I know.
You lost me at CJRB.
I know, but
I have a little respect for CJRB just because they know their role and they stuck to it. I appreciate.
I'm going to say this: the Pyrite Light, in my opinion, is the #1 budget knife for Javon. It's a button lock. It's got FRN scales. It's got a super thin blade, and I would not even have known about it if Ryan Ellis hadn't sent it before I knew Ryan Ellis for me to have. He sent me a knife to review, the Kershaw Bel Air, which I ended up buying because it's a great knife. And he sent me that CJRB Pyrite Light, and I've had every Pyrite, including the bow he made. I bought them because I thought that was a great knife. But the Light, which is $30 cheaper, is the best out of all of them. So they can make, to me, a very functional budget knife. This is that other one I showed you.
I bought several of them and was never dissatisfied with any of them. My daughter carries one to this day.
I mean, they like you said, they know their lane, right?
She's being a pothead and keeps over their shit better. I'll get her a better knife, but until then, she gets a CJRB.
Give me her address. She might be the winner this weekend.
That's a little better.
It's much better.
I don't see any difference.
So is that one of their?
The same to me.
Yeah, because you don't clean your shit.
Yeah, and I'm paying for it now, dude. This is rather heartbreaking. These damn. You see that big rust spot above the spider?
Oh, we can fix that.
Do you have a rust eraser? Or you got belts?
I ain't putting this on a belt.
Dude, I'm telling you, I don't think I can reach it.
No, I want hot dogs.
Go to my Amazon store.
Oh.
Where you'll find all my knife products and everything that's in my studio.
Hang on. How do I do this?
Just click on my Amazon link in my description of the video, or it's in my. But have you ever seen one of these?
No, but you ain't got to tell me. Give me time to get there. So I go to the video.
No, you go to the at my Amazon store. Then you go down to the description.
Hang on. I don't know how to get to your Amazon store yet.
Let's get you there so everybody else can find it. It's
I
also on my Beacons link.
Like I hit the down arrow.
Yep.
All right. And somewhere in here is going to be an Amazon link.
Should be the top one.
There's a TS Prof link. There's a Kyle's IG.
You've gone too low. Well, no, it's lower than that. You're right. You haven't.
Beacons.
Yeah, click on the beacons if it'll let you. That's the easiest way to get there.
Todd, it works great for.
Typically, when I click on links, it takes me to OnlyFans.
That's my OnlyFans. I haven't broken that out.
The Amazon store, so I go there. And I'm getting this, guy, so it can't be that difficult. And when I get there, what am I looking for?
You're looking for a KPL. Just put in the search KPL Rust Eraser.
Todd, it works great for gummed up stuff, but I always follow up with
Rust
Eraser.
Alcohol.
And if you look at mine, it's not square anymore.
Now, how do I know I'm still in your store, though?
Because if you go to my link from my homepage and you go in there and buy a refrigerator, you just browse around for an hour and buy a refrigerator, I get paid on that.
See, I owe you an apology then, because I could have been doing that on a
No,
lot
you
of stuff.
don't.
Haven't been. No, I should be. I'm your friend. I should be doing that.
Mom, I don't even have my mom do that, dude.
But that's my point, John. You should be reminding all of us when you go to buy your dog food, or hey, I need laundry detergent, so I can just buy laundry detergent too, right?
My original goal, because I've been in sales all my life, was to do it on ad revenue, on views. So, and to promote, if you'll notice, I just put Blade HQ back in my affiliates, but there's no Smoky Mountain Knife Works in there. But this starts off square and it's kind of soft, but you just take it and you rub it against the blade. Dude, it's amazing. They make other rust erasers from Japan, if you look this up. But this one, I think, is like, what, $15? And I imagine this will last me a lifetime. You've seen those wall erasers that are white with the ball-headed guy on them? Looks kind of like Magic you. Eraser. Yeah, Magic Eraser. This is kind of like a more gritty, a little bit thicker Magic Eraser. But I had my Crewware Adamas, this knife, when I put the scales on and took the blade out around the pivot where there's no Cerakote or whatever's on the blade, it was very rusted. And just by rubbing this on it, it took it down to raw steel.
All right, I just placed my order. Can you see it?
Oh, it won't show me till the end of the month. But, dude, you never have to. I think that's awesome you did. I think because you're going to love it. And thanks for using my link.
It's not just awesome that I did, John. It's something I do almost every day. And it's something everybody in the chat does almost every day. And you provide them with entertainment for 12 hours a week. There's no reason for you not to ask them to go to Amazon via your link to buy random junk that they're going to buy anyway.
And let me tell you how my stupid brain works on that. Lefty and I are great friends, and Lefty's great at doing that. And a lot of times I use Lefty's link, and a lot of times I'd forget to use Lefty's link, and I would beat myself up for not using it because I'm that person that feels that way. I didn't use a lot of people's link. I used Tri-State some. I'd switch them up, but mostly Lefty 10. I don't know why I like that fucker, but I'm just different about it. I really hope that I can get a good.
I can't buy a fridge right now. He's Illuminati. But if you have to order some dog food or whatever,
Shane's a spokesperson. It's a scratch on my back. I scratch.
I'm just saying, man. We're all friends here.
But Kyle's made me self-conscious about it.
There's nothing wrong with us doing things that doesn't cost us a dime to support John, and there's nothing wrong with John reminding us. There's nothing wrong with John asking us to do it.
You know how I can remind you?
Good point. Oh.
Tell me if you see an ad.
I haven't seen an ad, but I have.
Tell you will, because I just served one.
Well, we're on StreamYard, so we're not going to see it.
Yeah, I have YouTube.
You'll see it if anybody's watching. I'm asking the chat. Because there's a button in Studio that you can press, because I've got it on not auto. but where you can serve an ad manually. So ideally, if I was going to say, hey guys, I'm going to get up and go pee, I'm going to put on some music, that would be a great time to serve an ad.
Yeah. John, you could probably buy a high-end knife a year and give it away, like a Hinder, and give it away if enough people took 3 extra seconds and used that Amazon link.
Oh, dude, where I'll tell you that the link that is the most profitable for me, I don't know why, maybe because I'm a true believer in them, is DLT.
Really?
DLT is my most profitable affiliate link, and I get about $35 a month from them. I don't make affiliate money. There are people that make big time affiliate money. I would guess that Ray is probably pulling down 10 grand on affiliates.
Well, how much was it they paid Cole to go to Blade Show?
Well, that was just, I don't know what they paid him this year, because he had Blade Bench.
1 year they paid him $10,000 to be there.
Which year?
1 year.
That would have been EMP EDC. Surely they didn't pay him 10 grand.
That's what I was told.
Well, maybe for travel and rooms and everything.
I was told.
Cole's good at what he does.
He is good at what he does. But my point is, he also poor mouthed his entire chat the week before Blade Show, talking about couldn't pay his power bill, blah, 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 couldn't do this, couldn't do that, then spent like $7,000 on knives while he was there.
Oh, yeah.
And came back and showed them off to people who could never afford those knives.
And see, that's probably one reason I don't believe in milestone giveaways or big giveaways, because I think if you're going to give away knives, you should give them away regardless. I think to save up a bunch of free knives and give away just a few of them, it's almost like a slap in the face. But I see things differently. That's why I respect Metal Complex so much, because he says, of course I'm going to make giveaways out of them. Yeah, it grows his channel, but he's like, why wouldn't I pass them along? I didn't buy these knives.
There's a difference between what Metal Complex does and what Cole did.
What's that?
Baffled those knives, even though Metal Complex had been on record several times saying that was dirty to make people pay to enter a giveaway, and then Cole did it anyway, and then Metal Complex attacked me for saying something about
on the wrong post, because Metal Complex either didn't want to know the truth, or I have a feeling he wasn't informed. He wasn't informed.
I had fun poking at him. Yeah, man.
My thing is, I just want people to buy their own shit and not do giveaways. If you want something, buy it.
I get
and
it.
then people can, because like I personally, if I want to do something nice for someone, I want to do it out of the kindness of my own heart, when I want and to who I want. I don't want to sit there and have to do giveaways to feel like that's something that everyone feels obligated, and it shouldn't be that way.
But for me, I used to feel obligated, and I don't feel obligated. I feel like it's the least I can do for a channel member once a week for people who support the channel.
And people need to know that.
They're going to support you whether you do a giveaway or not, and the ones that don't are only there for the giveaway. And do you want that? That's your dilemma. You have
if they watch my videos, I'd love that. I mean, again, I can't control. I don't mind what their religious, their sexual orientation.
Ask people in the chat how many knife reviews a week they watch now.
Very few, I'm sure, but there are new people coming in, which is why. I watch none.
Those new people coming in is to promote what you have to offer, and you're not doing that.
Well, I've got a little section that talks about. I need to do it more. Now, I think I'm going to start with just seeing how long I can go. I probably wouldn't go more than 12 hours, but I think I could go 24.
Now look what I just did with my Rex 121. I made a really sharp stick.
You want confession time?
This was the stick I was using to scratch my inner ear, so now I'm going to have to remember not to use it for that.
Too sharp for that.
Yeah.
I think about 2 or 3 months ago is when I first subscribed to Javon. I wasn't even subscribed, and I was a guest on here all the time.
And that doesn't, and you know what, dude? Just like anybody else, I didn't notice. And it doesn't hurt my feelings. I used to be a channel member to probably 20 channels. I'm a channel member to none just because I don't have a credit card that I use anymore. So I'm kind of like unable to do it. Yeah.
No, I'm not talking to member. I'm talking about subscribe to your channel. Period.
Oh, I know, but subscribe's just clicking the button. I want you to watch the video. I know you don't watch knife videos, but when you see Javon's video up, you go, hey, I'm his buddy. I'm on his show.
Hey, y'all want to really be toxic tonight?
Yeah.
We could all go over to Elmer's last video and just type bye.
That would be mean. Elmer's got a serious procedure.
I wouldn't do it, but it's funny.
Now, when he starts his GoFundMe and he's on the recovery, bringing his channel back, we control then.
See, that's the thing. I ain't put no weight into that because I don't know what's going on.
Kathleen, yes, ma'am. I haven't had Taco Bell. I did have it Saturday.
Guys, we got 5-minute countdown.
That dude has been milking military disability since the day he got out of the military. So,
Five minutes till Maddie.
All right, Kyle, what you got, brother? All right, well, the first thing I got is tomorrow, anybody that's a channel member, if you're not, grab a channel membership. They're very, very affordable. And you got live streams every Sunday where until Shane convinces me otherwise, there will be a giveaway. And I'll ship it to you if you're in the continental U.S. and you're 18. But I appreciate everybody coming out. Kyle, what you got, brother?
Nothing. Have a good weekend, guys. Be safe.
You got a bunch of stuff coming up. Anything special you're sharpening?
I got one project left with a couple of stuff in there, and then Shane's got some more coming my way next week, and then I'll be free and open to the public.
So you'll let us know when the books are open again.
Yeah, basically end of next week.
First week of September, guys. Think about it. Shane, what you got, buddy?
To my knowledge, Kyle, correct me if I'm wrong, but there are 2 frets on their way to Terry right now.
Already there.
2 frets at Terry's having sheaves made. One of those is Richard Hopkins. I'm not even sure who all has claimed a fret.
But if they both come to me, I'll do a release on them, and I won't cut with them because I've already done that.
The third person in line anyway will be able to get their knife very soon.
I've got the list already.
And I'm planning on getting scales on the 3 frets I have and hopefully out to Kyle by next week. So if you said you wanted one, Richard is next, but then after that, we don't really have them in order. I really only kept up with the first 3 people that claimed one. So,
and I haven't even talked about them yet. Really, I've just shown it off. Talked about the price. Talked about the fact that it's not just a Shane edgy American knife. It's got a sheath by 1931 Leatherworks. That's a super nice pocket dropper. And it's got a Kyle Coonley edge, Klingenwek edge. So it's touched by a lot of good people. And I think it's a good design. I'm a little bit partial. But I bought it just to cut cat food, cardboard, and other shit, and myself a couple of times. But guys, go to Sid Faction. I will not fall asleep tonight, even though I'm almost finished with my THC soda. I love each and every one of you. Look out for the guy or gal to your left. Look out for the guy or gal to your right. Look out for each other. Come by and see me tomorrow at 2:30. All you have to do is stop in. I love each and every one of you. Till then, peace.
Peace, guys.
The light went out because we only had a little bit, but are you high on cigarettes? And when that stuff runs out, you're gonna want to make it. Are you high on cigarettes?
Let's watch Juvon's weirdness and get high on cigarettes. Let's watch